Howdy, folks. Welcome to Adventures in Alberon Courts of Everest, our original 5th edition D&D campaign. I am Joe Treff, your DM this evening, and joining me are my friends Matt, Vincent, Tina, Kara, Hannah, and Alana. We're all here. We're all in seats. We're going to play D&D in just a second, but before we do, a couple of quick announcements. First of all, we played Mosaic Team 5, our original Starfinder game last night. We had a nice little trip through the drift, or not through the drift, through a solar system on a train. And it was just a wonderful time until some reptiles got involved. So that is going to re-air on YouTube at Alberon RPG on Sunday at noon, followed by this at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then next week, we are not going to be playing any games, or the week after that. We're going to be on summer break. And so the next time that we're going to be playing is the second week of August. However, next week, in place of our Friday night game, there's going to be an original Starfinder one-shot called The Influencers. Many people around this table play in it. There's some other people as well. You can check that out when it airs. It's pre-recorded, but you will see it for the first time on Friday. And then the week after that, there's going to be an original one-shot set in this D&D universe called Camp Bright Cove. And that is a fun summer camp adventure that takes place on the southern continent of Mythelstream, roughly 1,700 miles away from where everybody is at the moment. So that is the plan for the next 2 weeks, and then we're going to be back. In addition, we have an Instagram at Alberon RPG. We have a Threads. It's the same name. We also have a website, alberonrpg.com. And then finally, for music like this, what is called happy folksy music, or a variety of other sound effects like this, huzzah. Sirenscape, not a sponsor, but a great digital tool set that you could use to add sound effects to your game. And with that, we're going to get us into our recap. Wandering Hearts, last we played. You delved into the lower levels of Kirlor Tel Eldar, first making your way through the ruins of this broken keep, Ori, you deftly finding every trap along the way. Not with your eyes, but with yourself. You eventually made your way down the stairs, Ori, the only trap that you didn't completely succumb to being the false step at the top, into a hallway that was filled with unlit torches. In this space, you chose to light the very first torch that you saw, which was not, in fact, the correct thing to do within this room. Very quickly, the room filled with shadows, and they began to attack. These shadows, much darker than the ones that you cast when a flame is set in front of you, they hold their own shape, and they move silently, but they were able to sap your strength with every blow. You eventually were able to defeat them when several of you managed to discover that by lighting torches, you could corral them into certain parts of the battlefield until, lighting them completely, you were able to prevent them from reconstituting themselves, and you managed to eliminate both of these writhing masses of darkness. You made your way beyond, down a set of stairs, and into the Grand Hall, with 6 different doorways that led outside. Very much as you see on your screen in front of you. There are... Oh yeah, you can just scooch that just a little bit.
All the way up to here.
With the multitude of doors, each of them seeming slightly different, there was only one that was truly locked in a way that was absolutely inaccessible, and that was the one on the far northwestern wall. This had 4 large metal sliding locks that seemed to disengage from other points around this space. Valis, you met a friendly rat named Silverpaw, and by casting Speak with Animals and interacting with him, you managed to befriend this rat and discover quite a bit about the space. You learned that his name was Silverpaw because he was known to be able to run along some strings, these silver strings that were above a dripping, gross throne of some kind. You also learned the location of these various switches and followed his advice to make your way into the processing chamber and the reintegration suite, or you led the way. You did manage to avoid some traps and pick a lock.
Hey.
Yeah. And as you entered, you saw a corpse, long since desiccated, knocked over in a chair, but luckily, Ori, they held a key right in their hands. You grabbed the key, immediately succumbing to poison, but absolutely were able to make your way on and use that key to unlock the door. You wrapped your way around a 90-degree angle through halls very narrow. So narrow that they felt a little bit claustrophobic and perhaps like a bad place to engage in combat. And yet, at the end of this space, Ori, you quietly open the door to see beyond a man chained to the walls, his head seeming to fade away towards the top in such a manner that you could actually see his brains, the gray matter and the swirl seeming to almost lick out and sublimate into gas above his head. You close the door, thinking maybe that wasn't such a good idea. And then 3 more times, open the door, shut the door, open the door, shut the door.
One more time.
It was
and then
3 times total.
No, keeping the door open but leaning back to talk.
It's fine.
Very different.
You're right, that's way different. Okay.
So, as you did all these things, you all made the plan to open the door and fight the angry man within. You counted down 3, 2, 1. And Ori, as you push the door open, that is where we begin this evening. And we are absolutely going to go ahead and roll for initiative.
Is this the sad man or the mad man?
Madman.
Angry
Madman.
Do you have the res mini anywhere?
Oh, I probably do. Yeah, give me 1 second. Or it might be
right there.
No, yeah.
No, that's it.
No, that's a table. It does look a lot
that's a
like,
table.
It does look quite a bit like the res menu, though. Okay.
Can I use this horse?
You can.
Oh, got him.
Maybe
I suppose.
I thought you were mocking me because Petal is up there, but I didn't see res right away.
No, I wasn't
That will
sure if
definitely
I wasn't sure if I had him or if he was there, but I'm glad he's there.
He's hanging. He's chilling.
All right, you got him back.
Let me go grab him.
Yeah. I'm gonna.
Oh, so okay, so that's not the guy. That's just a guy.
That's the guy who had
That's
the
the
key.
guy who has
That's the guy that poisoned
Oh,
you.
okay.
With the keys.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That makes sense because of the spear throw.
Yeah.
Okay, there it is.
This is not how I was picturing this. And for those playing along at home, this is very narrow.
Can we talk about this music?
So,
It's fine. I'd
I
rather
will
not.
also say they don't make the kind of miniature that I'm picturing, so this is kind of the closest in terms of like little wispy things. But up in the very
Oh, that
in
guy
little
looks
alcove.
less like a man
But yeah,
and more
Use
like
your
it does
imagination.
very much look like a man.
horrible.
In this game,
Just horrible.
in this game of make believe, he is a humanoid. He's a man you can see wearing dark clothing, wearing a dark cloak, and up towards the head. The head seems to just sublimate into smoke.
It's fine.
Oh, but go ahead, roll for initiative.
I'm also gonna roll my omen.
Oh, please, yes.
I got odd.
I like that.
Just 1 moment here.
It may not be unfriendly to us.
Gonna be Res got a natural.
Yes, we'll roll with that with this theme music playing.
Initiative.
This is it's debate club. All right, anybody natural 20s? Ooh, okay. Anybody 25 to 20? Ooh, love that. All right, 20 to 15.
15.
Also 15.
Also 15.
Oh, look at that.
Look at us.
15.
And then 15 to 10.
Oh, 14.
Oh, look at that.
13,
Ooh.
12.
11, 10.
So
You're gonna be doing that for a while because Res got a natural 1.
Sorry, make it 15. Who is 14?
Just 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
14 is Billy. 13 was
Ori.
Ori, Valis, and then all the way down at the bottom, past Silverpaw, is Silverpaw rolled initiative. He's there.
We gotta
Yeah,
keep
he's
Silver
chilling.
Posse.
Silverpaw's at 3, and at 1 is Res. So it is beginning with the Shadow, then Cheshire, then Alina, then Minka, then Billy, then Ori, then Valis,
Oh, boy.
then Silverpaw, and then Res.
Oh,
Give me
boy.
1 second. Let me pull up your stat block, actually.
This,
Well, it's kind of
Doesn't
good that he's
seem
going first, 'cause
ideal.
then if he attacks us first, then we just know he's unfriendly.
yeah, I'll just tank it. I'll just tank
Look,
it.
look, I'm picking up what you're putting down. I think we maybe already know that he's unfriendly.
So, this individual, let's see.
Well, if in character the music starts playing like this, I think we would intuit that they were not
we all just
friendly.
hear ominous drumming.
This horrifying drumming music. It's fine.
So-
He hasn't said anything yet. He might be
He's
nice.
going to end here.
Oh, thank God.
I love that you're saying that.
No, I know, I'm not.
Is he just gonna go through
he's-
all of us?
No, he's gonna kill
Ori,
us all.
you
Yeah.
pop the door open, and as you do, suddenly the head snaps up, and you can see this smoke just becomes like a huge, billowing cloud that is now roiling out of his head. And you can see the mouth opens up. The eyes are completely like empty, just dark pits. And he yells out, "You shouldn't be here!" and just rushes. The chain snap. And he is going to slam into you first, Ori.
Yeah, okay.
Say this.
Or, oh, you're lucky. That is going to be a 8 to hit. Fantastic. So, Ori, you can see he rushes towards you, and as you like have this danger sense, you bend out of the way, and he just disappears, reappears directly behind you. Who's behind you?
Ooh, we got a wheel.
Alice, you are taking an attack from him. Does a 9 hit? Okay. So he goes to swing at you and just slams. You pull up the shield and just, you feel it's a real fist, and it just hits and then just seems to into nothing, and he vanishes. And then Alina's behind you.
No, that's Billy, then Lena.
Okay. Billy, you are taking the third attack. Finally, Billy does a 19 hit.
Yes.
Okay, there we go. So, Billy, you are taking. Oh, I didn't have enough dice for an 8.
We got the blah noise.
You are going to be taking 18 points of necrotic damage.
Oh.
And can you make a wisdom saving throw, please?
Oh. Ah. 21.
21. As this slams into you, you can feel the fist strikes you right in the chest, but it seems to splash across, and you can feel the shadow seep into your pores. And it tries to pull essence of your life force away. And as you're able to pull away, you imagine it could have done that to every single person that it hit through that attack. But it disappears and then reappears in the doorway, although it won't fit in the doorway, as a miniature. But this gaseous form just causes a black, almost cloud to appear, and so you cannot see through the doorway from one side to the other, I believe with one exception. That is going to be his turn. That brings us to Cheshire.
Anger man, anger man, anger man. Unsettling words.
Okay.
For a minus
Why
5.
so
Wisdom throw
angry?
he's about to make
Nice.
for a whole person.
Yeah. And that is only going to be. What kind of save?
Wisdom.
Wisdom. That's going to be a 10.
That is a failure.
So what happens?
He is paralyzed for the duration.
Nice.
You feel the spell settle around him right as he is going to strike Alina, or sorry, Valis. And as he hits Valis and the shield comes up and splashes across, you cast the spell and it takes hold, and then he vanishes, reappears, attacks Billy. It doesn't seem like he can be paralyzed. Anything else?
Backing up as far as I can.
Okay. That's 30 feet?
Yes.
Okay, so into the hallway. You turn and run. You run past the counter. You see this dead guy with a spear through him. Things are starting to make more sense. You make your way into this other hallway. You can see the hallway in front of you. But that is your turn, Cheshire. That brings us to Alina.
Okay, so you said that there's like a dark cloud and only there's one exception for who can see through there. Is it me?
It is you.
Yeah. That means that Rez also can see through it,
yeah.
for the record.
I kind of count you and Rez as like a player, but yeah, they're different.
Okay, so he's like in the doorway right now, taking up the doorway.
Yeah.
Well,
What you doing?
do I mean, do I think that I can like run through the doorway without touching him based on what I can see?
No, you're gonna go straight through him, and you would imagine, based on how he just passed through Valis and reemerged on the other side, you can move through him.
Yeah.
Almost certainly, it's an attack of opportunity.
It's gonna hurt though. Yeah. Okay. All right. I guess I'll stay where I am, and I'll just call out. I can see him. He's in the doorway.
Okay.
And I'll shoot an Eldritch Blast at him because I don't know what else to fucking do.
Alina yells this out, and then point blank range, you fire an Eldritch Blast.
It's not point blank.
It's almost point blank. It's very, very narrow quarters in here.
All right. So that's 24 for the first one.
Yeah, that absolutely is.
And a 14 for the second one.
That does not.
All right. So this is gonna be
That looks like
so
a nicer space
12
to deal with this.
points of force damage
Okay.
plus 3 more bludgeoning.
Very nice. And the bludgeoning is magical, right? Because it comes from that spell?
I don't. It comes from like my genie. It's like a genie feature.
Yeah, so I would imagine it's magical.
We'll call it magical, sure.
No worries.
Genies
Okay.
are pretty magical.
Yeah.
So you throw this Eldritch Blast out, and as it strikes in, one of the beams passes straight through him, but the other one seems to do a little damage. Anything else?
Yeah, and I'm just gonna tell Rez, just do your best, buddy.
What do you mean? I always do my best, Alina.
Yeah, I know, but he's pretty spoopy, so just hit him, I guess.
All right. That's your turn?
Yeah.
Alrighty, Minka, what would you like to do? Billy, you're on deck.
He's like right in front of me, essentially.
Directly in front of you.
Yes. Okay. Cool. So, seeing that he's directly in front of me, the first thing she's going to do is she's going to grab her staff and then touch the crystal on top and cast daylight on it.
Okay, very nice.
That's good.
So, hopefully, a 60-foot radius of light spreads out from it. So from me, it's now 60 foot of bright light.
Yeah.
And then it also dispels any darkness that's created by a spell.
Nice. So you can all now see straight through. It is just a strange, it's not a skeleton. You can actually see almost like a x-ray through this individual. They still have a heart that beats. They still have lungs that are moving. You can see blood
like
getting
those
pushed through the
fish?
body. Very similar to like a fish or a lizard or anything with really translucent skin. It is almost like they are x-rayed by this daylight. And Cheshire, you turn back and you can see like the dark eye sockets of the skull around the eyes themselves. You get the like most horrific image of this ever. But no problem.
Just, you know. And then I'm gonna, Minka's gonna go, oh, no. And she's gonna run back towards, just moving like 30 feet away.
So like right next to Cheshire,
Yeah, just put me more into the room. Yeah,
right here.
I'll stop there.
Nice.
And then and then from there, use my bonus action to do.
Yes.
I'm just stuck between Chalice and Archer.
What you doing?
Archer.
There you go.
All right, and then I'm gonna shoot it because it's a bonus action shoot.
Make your attack roll. So you cast daylight on the staff, and as it begins to glow, you rush forwards, and as the stars spread out behind you, that bright point on the edge of your staff seems to spread out and becomes this huge celestial bow. And as you pull back, what was your roll?
Natural 20.
Oh, that's
nice.
absolutely a hit. Damn.
All right.
Chet, get out of here.
Oh, with minimum damage. Yes, total of 10 radiant damage.
But I will say that is much more effective than you expect. And as it strikes, though it is like a glancing strike, you can see it like hits him right in the leg, this little starlight arrow, and then it just kind of burns and smolders. And though the rest of his incorporeal form, you've seen it reform after he passes through people, it's not quite reforming there. Anything else, Minka?
No, also it's 8 radiant damage. I'm sorry, I added the modifier too early.
Gotcha.
8 radiant damage. So it's my action, bonus action, my movement. I think Minka just at this point just be like, another That's it.
Problem. That is your turn, Minka. That brings us to Billy, or you're on deck.
Did the daylight move with you, or is it?
Yes, it's on my staff. So it's like 30 feet in all directions starting from me. It's a 60-foot. Oh, wait. It's 60-foot radius. So, I'm sorry, so 60 feet in every direction from me.
So it's just really bright.
It's just really fucking bright in there.
The brightness extends about halfway into the main hallway, and then it goes all the way to the end of the hall in the L shape.
Do you allow allies to switch spaces? Like do-si-do?
Not really do-si-doing. I would say if you want to like have your ally use the reaction to do-si-do, that makes sense.
Okay. I want to get closer to hit it.
Okay. Lena's feeling great about this because it's like the first time she's spoken to her.
No problem.
Let's do-si-do, pal.
So you can see Billy's like holding their sword, and they're just like, and you're just like, oh, okay. You like press yourself to the side. Billy rushes past you. And Billy, you slide into the room. No problem. This creature looms up before you. You can see very much turning and tracking Minka.
Billy's going to draw her sword, lash out, and say, "I don't think so," and hex the thing,
Okay.
the shadow man.
Yeah.
And then slash with the magic sword.
Yeah. Make your attack.
Magic.
What's that?
No, that's a 12.
You swing, but as you scrape by Alina, you're not quite able to make it all the way into the room, and it's kind of a half step, and you swing, and you're just a little short. Anything else, Billy?
No.
All right, Billy. You squeeze down a hallway. That's your turn. Or what would you like to do, Valis? You're on deck.
I can't really see what's going on down here, right?
No.
Like, it's back there. Is there anything in this area on either side of
At a
this?
quick glance, you can't really see on the other side until you go into the room itself, or at least right to the door. If you want to like push yourself in, 5 feet of movement. Yeah. So you look in over the edge of this table on the other side, where this guy was chained up. You can see what looks like a big metal, kind of rusted handle that looks like you could grab it and then turn it to the side. At the moment, it looks like it is all the way to the left. And then you see 2 broken chains that are tethered to the wall that this individual was bound by.
So, where is this handle?
Right in
On
that
this-
little alcove.
And that's where the chains are coming out as well?
Correct.
Are they connected in some way?
Not to each other, but to the wall there.
Okay. I would like to investigate this further somehow.
Sure, make
to
an
see,
investigation
like,
check.
is this some way, like, to contain this?
Make an investigation check.
You gotta use your special eyes, Ori. That's
Yeah.
what you're here for.
That's why we brought you along.
It's for your special sensory organs.
What can we do in this situation with a 6?
Your elbow senses something.
So you walk in and you look at this thing, but in the dark, as Minka is casting this bright light, it almost makes the space around the corner much darker. And so your eyes like are a little bit thrown off. You got to get closer. So you step into the alcove. Can you make a dexterity saving throw, please?
Yeah. Oh, okay. 22.
22. You are about to step down, and as you do, you notice there are cracks all along the floor, and you have seen these false kind of floor panels before. There's probably like spikes underneath. It's a good thing you didn't step on that. You kind of back away, and you can see already little bits kind of crumble down, but no problem. You don't really get to see the device.
Okay.
Anything else, Ori?
I'm gonna run back up to Valis. Be like, ready. Yeah, I guess I can't really ready an action to shoot him from here. I'll be like, can you do the thing?
Free action. You watch Ori dashes 10 feet, just kind of look, and then jumps back, runs back to you. Can you do the thing? Anything else, Ori?
Ready an action to fire if this thing comes back
problem.
streaking through the hallway.
That's your turn.
Billy and
Or
Ori share a language where
Yeah.
it's just holding out a weapon. It's like,
Valis, what would you,
You
like to
have
do?
put stuff on this before. Do it again.
you haven't. Why not?
I had a plan. But now a request has been made of me, so now I need a new plan. All right. So first plan. I'll say, yeah, I'll touch your bow, and then you'll see like light green runes go up again, and it'll
Okay.
glow green slightly. You now have a +1, whatever it was.
Very.
Wonderful.
So that was my bonus action.
Whatever the fuck.
And
WTF?
let's see. Huh.
What you doing?
I can't get anywhere where I can hit the thing, right?
Not in like direct melee contact.
Okay. Does Rez take up a space?
I believe so. Yeah.
He's tiny, so I don't know what.
You can share a space with him then.
Okay. I think I'll move to where Rez is.
You gonna do
and-
the face step?
No, I'll just walk through Alina.
Is this a do-si-do, or I already used my
You
reaction?
already used your reaction to do that. Yeah, you can't move because it's a 5-foot hallway. So
Oh, okay.
yeah. So
Can't
that's
move through allies.
you can't really move through allies. Or you can't switch spaces with allies. And so I guess if you wanted to end up in the space with Rez, you could probably do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to move through Alina and just end up in the space with Rez.
Yeah, that's fine.
Something.
I mean, if you want to take Billy's space, Billy also hasn't used her reaction, so we could switch.
There's a video game, I think it's Street Fighter, where you could like tag other fighters in. That's what's happening right
This is
now.
what this is. Billy's just like, ah!
Alright. So I will stand behind Billy and, reach out my hand to be tagged in.
Is this what's happening? Seriously? That's okay. Sorry. Just want to make sure I understand.
So yeah,
Well, no,
it's
I think
basically
she's now going to be where Rez is.
Yeah.
yeah, sharing a space with Rez.
Okay.
And so, yeah, essentially, Alina, you rush forwards, you throw this Eldritch Blast, and then you feel Billy who just like pushes past you, and then all of a sudden, Valis just like, not using the actual feature, but for flavor, just appears like right in front of you, and so you're just like shuffling each other backwards slightly.
Alright, and then I'll attack it twice.
Make your attack roll.
First attack, not good.
First step.
11.
11. Unfortunately, that's not a hit.
This hallway's really short and I have a long sword, so.
It's very awkward in there.
Angle, you're like trying to come up from the bottom, or just like.
17.
The 17 just hits.
Alright. Ooh, minimum damage. 7. 7 slashing damage.
Okay. And that's magical slashing?
No, it's just regular.
Okay. It doesn't do quite as
seem
much.
less effective?
It does. Anything else, Valis?
That'll be it.
Okay. You slash across and it doesn't seem to really catch anything, but no problem. That brings us to Silverpaw. So Silverpaw is going to move 15 feet towards the rubble, and I believe that only gets him about halfway into it, but he can ignore difficult terrain.
Like into that corner.
Yeah, basically into that corner. And at the very end of it, you see him just kind of like into like a little hole. He seems to be heading for something. That is Silverpaw. That brings us to Rez. So Rez, you just told him to go and like attack him, I guess.
I also told him to do his best. So.
Yeah. So okay. Yeah. So he's gonna roll extra hard. Go ahead and make your attack roll with Rez.
Yep. All right. So that would mean. So is he?
He's sharing a
sharing
space
a
with
space
Billy,
with-
so
oh,
yeah, he's fine.
He's sharing a space with Billy.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's gonna have to move up a bit and share
Yep.
a space with.
And he can do that. He's tiny. So all of a sudden, right on your shoulder, there is this little feet that just bunch, and then you can see like the little legs like coil, and then he leaps off, and your shoulder just kind of like a little bit, but in his mind, it's like epic. And he just goes fast.
All right. He's got a 22 to hit.
That absolutely hits. Yeah, Rez doing his best.
Oh, man.
Anime force
best.
sleep, it just like buckles into the plate.
Sorry. D4. Oh, bless his heart. All right, that's 4 piercing damage.
Okay.
And
Reduced to 2.
Yep,
He's
and
doing it.
He's needs
His
to
best.
make a Constitution saving throw DC 17.
It's a good DC.
It's my
That's a failure.
Ooh.
neat. All right, so he's gonna take 3d6 poison damage. 14 poison damage.
So you can hear as he bunches up on Valis' shoulder, he's like, Alina, I got this! And he just rushes forwards, and you see he like outstretches this little weapon and just flies straight through the creature. Deals just a little tiny bit of damage, and the poison damage is 0. He is immune to poison. He just turns around and he looks, and like from the other side, you can barely see him from the bright light cast from Minka. But he just holds up his weapon. He's just like, Alina, did you see that?
Yeah, buddy, I saw it.
But that is his turn, I believe.
Yes.
Alrighty, that brings us to the top of the round and this shadow guy. Although actually, at the end of Reza's turn, he is going to use his reaction to Shadow Step. And he is going to reappear 5 feet away from Minka, and then take their movement 5 feet right into Minka.
Into Minka? Share space with
No, not sharing space with Minka. Not until Minka's dead. So they're going to. There's not 3 people there. Minka, you are taking 1 attack.
Okay.
That is going to be a 24 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
And so all of a sudden, as he turns and you can see this bright light, you almost see it mirrored in his eyes. And he says, "You're not supposed to be here." And he leaps and he teleports and is suddenly like right above you. And as he comes down,
That's too many dice. That's too. No, Joe.
It's almost max damage. That is going to be 23 points of necrotic damage. And please make a wisdom saving throw.
Whoa, you can do this. Alright, no.
A total of 14.
That is a success. Strikes into you. You can feel the shadow again splash out across your body, and where it does, these starlight form begins to fade and begins to die down. And you shrug this off. The starlight goes brighter and brighter, and you are able to push that away. You do not lose any strength. And that is all that he can do. And so that is going to be his turn. That brings us to Cheshire.
So that was 23 points of damage.
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure.
I believe so.
No. Casting Bane.
Okay.
Charisma saving throw.
Okay. That is going to be a 14.
That is a failure. Target must roll a d4 and subtract the number rolled from the attack roll or saving throw during the duration. And so anytime it makes an attack roll or any saving throw.
Do I re-roll the d4 every time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. It's the opposite of guidance, essentially.
Oh, that's cool.
Because it's bless
Or
and bane.
bless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bless a
How long does it
Remember?
go for?
A minute.
Nice.
Yeah.
Continuing to back up.
Okay.
You're concentrating.
Full.
Bane concentration?
It's concentration.
Max distance?
Yeah.
3, 4, 5, 6.
So rushing over and then tucking in behind the rock. There is like pink and sparkles, and so hiding not so much, but you're there. That is Cheshire's turn.
You got this!
Inspiration.
Nice. So, Alina, what would you like to do, Minka, with your inspiration? You're on deck.
That's 8. Let's see.
Oh, I have a pink D8.
For a second.
Nice.
On brand.
Also, if it fails, you get to keep it.
Yeah.
Fancy. These are so.
Yeah, what is that made of?
It's metal. I just have hands that forget that they're holding things sometimes, and so I just,
Okay. So I'm going to run forward. My movement can get me into the
Nice.
same space as this guy, which you said I'm allowed to do, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I run forward, I get into this space, I grab Minka's hand, and then we thunderstep on out of there.
Very nice.
So you tell me, does anything happen before the thunderstep?
No.
Neat. Okay, grab Minka's hand, I'm like, time to go.
What kind of save is that? Strength?
Hell yeah.
Strength is a excuse me, the spell is a con save.
Con save.
And you
DC
subtract a d4.
I subtract 1 from that, so it's gonna be a 12.
So it was DC 17. So that is gonna be
I'm pre-rolling my d4.
3d10 thunder damage. I'm gonna roll, but before I have to do math, does it look like it's gonna impact him at all?
What was the roll?
It's 10 thunder damage.
So it
not very-
seems as if it doesn't quite do as much damage as you would imagine, but it does do a little.
Does do some, okay. And then we bamf into here. Like, I think I have to see the spot, but it's. Just say we wind up like here next to Cheshire.
Perfect. So you right in front of Cheshire, and then like kind of stumble off to the side a little bit.
Yeah.
No problem.
And then as a free action, I'm like, Raz, you did really good. Do that again. And I just dust off Minka. I'm like, all right, we're back in the game.
And that's your turn.
That's my turn.
Cool. At the end of your turn, he's going to use his reaction. And as you like thunderstep and disappear, even as you are reappearing and stumbling in the other room from down the hallway, you could hear, "You can't get away!" And then suddenly, right behind Minka.
Oh,
No.
boy.
I tried.
His reaction, and that is the end of Alina's turn. Minka, what would you like to do? You can see in front of you, like looming, floating several inches off the ground, this human, probably about 6 feet tall when he was like fully normal, now like very much higher above you, and the brains are almost like this roiling cloud of smog or smoke, and every now and then you can feel it like flicking and rolling across you, and it does leave like an oily residue.
Gross. I think Mika's just gonna go reach forward and try to shocking grasp him.
Yep. I'm gonna save.
So that is I am attacking. So
Okay, good.
that's a natural 1.
That's going to be a no, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It seems as if they are not quite. They seem to be a little bit more combat oriented than you. Mm-hmm. And so as you reach out, it's like slow motion. They just away.
Yeah.
Anything else?
That's my action. And he's still like right there.
Exactly in front of you.
Right? Excellent. I'm gonna cast where is it? I did prepare it, right? Brain? Did I not prepare this?
I don't know. What you doing?
Alright, the thing I was gonna do, I didn't prepare because I am very smart. So instead, I'm just gonna cast a healing spirit right next to the three of us. So,
Do you want this little healing? Because this way
that's
I can
better.
get a little platform for whoever it's on.
yeah. So it's gonna be, so the
So this beautiful dryad just emerges and then just body slams.
Great, because I need the healing. So it's gonna body slam me for 1d6 returned hit points.
It is just a burly dryad. You know, she has just like broad shoulders. She's built like a refrigerator.
Yeah.
Got like a daddy energy hip type thing.
I'm just rolling like the best tonight. Excellente. All right, that's 5 points for me.
There you go. So you recover a little bit of that health.
Yeah.
That is your turn, Minka.
Beans. Yep.
Billy, the party has moved. What would you like to do?
The battle keeps moving further and further.
It really does.
I thought we were gonna just get it.
It was a great idea.
Bonus action healing word to me, I guess, because far away. So that's 6 hit points back to me. Yay!
Suddenly.
to chase us.
Gonna run all this way now?
And then, as my action, Billy's going to just quick pop into trance mode and check in on the dude who's got her fingernail in his pocket.
Yeah, Sermenti. So you, as an action or as a bonus action, whatever it is, you close your eyes, and as you do, you feel the sensation of movement and then you open your eyes again, but they're different. And you're looking out, and you can kind of feel like they're almost specters floating in the air. You don't feel your body around. It's almost like you are a sensor of some kind. But you can visualize Sermenti exactly where you left them, just kind of sitting in this hallway that you'd cleared. And they're still kind of shaking. They're talking about how it's so cold.
All right. Billy's going to like pop back in because it's just no action to dismiss. And just kind of like shrug half-heartedly at the rest of the group and move the 30 feet forward.
There you go.
I'm still like, what's going on?
Get your guardian.
I can't see around the corner.
Ori, what would you like to do, speaking of?
Do I finally have? Okay. So, before I run up, I'm gonna take one final. So, this is now fallen in.
A little bit,
right
yeah.
here.
Yeah, you can see little bits of sharp and jagged
Walls
metal beneath.
here and here.
Yep.
Is this the warden's office?
Yeah.
Is that the warden? That thing, it was like, looked like it was chained up on the wall, right? When we walked up. Okay. I want to use my eye for detail over here. Is this like a drawer full of presumably like files?
Probably, yeah.
Okay. Check that later.
Or he pulls up
like
the stools
to-
like, oh, now's a good time.
Let's leaf through this real quick.
I want to see 5 feet, right? I'm like 6 something. If I stand on this table, how heavy is this table?
What are you trying to do here?
I would like to use the table to get a more advantageous position to not fall in when I go to try and like.
So you want to tip your
figure out
toes,
this
one
arm
into the
thing.
table, lean forward, catch yourself, and then figure the thing out, and then push yourself back off. Because that's kind of what you're doing. You absolutely
If
can.
it's heavy,
Yeah.
If that's heavy enough, then yes.
Yeah, go for it.
So
Absolutely.
that like I'm not gonna shove myself.
Make
off
an
there.
acrobatics check.
Please don't fall into a hole.
It's not a hole. It's a spike pit.
Oh, there's spikes under there.
They're sharpened metal points. That's what I mean.
Pointing
That's
upward.
my acrobatics.
I didn't explicitly say spikes, but
All
I
right,
thought sharpened metal.
we
point
got
counts.
this. We got this. That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20, no problem. You tiptoe on the edge and you hear the wood underneath you, and it tilts ever so slightly, allowing you to like catch yourself. And you can now look exactly at this. This is a locking mechanism. And turning this will unlock one of those 4 locks in the door that you need to unlock in the main room.
Cool. I'm gonna unlock it.
Easy enough. You grab onto this. We can say it's a bonus action. You turn this, and off in the distance for all the rest of you, though there's a lot going on, you may not perceive this in the moment. One of those locks begins to back into the wall.
Cool.
Nice.
Now I'm gonna
2 of them.
turn. That was, we'll say what?
10.
10?
Yeah.
10 back.
Oh, 10 the whole way, because it was like 5 there, 5 back. You were like actually, because you had gone, because you had gone in the room to look at the actual thing and almost trip it.
Cool.
So yeah,
Then I think I get to right about the corner here.
yeah, that makes sense. There, maybe even just around if there's a space.
And I've used my bonus action.
Yes.
I can't see all the way down to them, right? Because they're.
You see a brilliantly glowing bright light that is casting all that you see, truthfully, is Cheshire. Illuminated in a glowing, brilliant, bright light that is causing like sparkles to
Billy
go.
is right here too.
I'm right in the center of the room right there.
But it's dark. And
Are you here? Oh, I see.
In front of you.
Yeah.
I do now. All right.
That's what you're doing.
Do you know what I also
Okay.
realized? We left all the melee people alone in the room.
Can I ready my action to if this thing comes
No,
across the
you're
doorway?
Absolutely,
fire
take a
a
shot.
at it?
No problem.
Perfectly.
You ready your action. You
Worked out
draw
the
back
worst
one of
we
the
probably
strings,
could have.
and the magical bow hums
So
with
good
energy.
at tactics, all of us together.
And the magical bow hums with energy, and you can like feel the arrow begin to vibrate, and you are ready to take that shot. So that is your turn, Ori. That brings us to Valis, followed by Silverpaw. What do you want to do, Valis?
Out of character, these magic users did a great job of getting this monster away from the weapon users. In character.
It's fine, it's fine.
I'll run 30 feet this way, so over here. And then face step. Whoosh. Another 30 feet over here.
You can do that too. Oh. You
And
get like boots.
then I am going to
Fast
ready
run.
a spell.
Faster.
And I am readying the spell command
Okay.
on the thingy.
Okay.
When he does, when he attacks someone, I want to use the spell command. And what I'm gonna say is, no, you leave her alone. But the spell wise, it's just halt.
So you ready that just so you know that we'll use the spell even if you don't. Okay. No
Yeah, I
worries.
ticked it off.
Cool. So that is your turn, Valis. You hold that. You are ready. You are waiting for it to come into your view or to attack whoever it's going to attack. And staring at Minka. That is your turn. That brings us to Silverpaw. Hang on, I'm just doing a little math here. You can, I mean, nobody knows what's going on with Silverpaw. He's in the walls. He's doing something. That is Silverpaw's turn. That brings us to Rez. What do you have in Rez do?
Well, he's gonna use his full action to try to get in there. He's got a fly speed of 40, so that's
80 feet.
Almost just 5 feet to go.
So close. And so just the wings just beating. He's already out of breath. You can hear, like, as he comes down the hall, Valis behind you just, and he's just like puffing. You can't see him, but he's puffing. So
No, he's visible right
Oh,
now.
okay, great. Anything else?
Nope, that'll be it.
Okay, that is Rez. That brings us to the top of the round and the shadow guy. So Minka. Oh, and there's 3 people. Okay. So Minka, you are taking the first attack. He raises back a hand.
Does my ready to action go off before or after that?
Oh gosh. I would say it could go off before if you want. Yeah.
13 wisdom save?
It's cocked.
He's Bane.
Oh, with Bane. Oh.
He is Bane.
-1.
The target doesn't move and it takes no actions.
Are they charmed?
Hold on. Uh-oh. Is the target undead?
They're not.
Okay. Does it understand my language?
It does.
It doesn't say anything about it being charmed.
Okay, fantastic. So as it like raises up this hand, you shout out halt. And so it's going to listen to you, which means it's not going to use Krashton's Unbridled Fury. Instead, it is going to use Furious Imprecation. And it turns to you, Valis. And there is just this otherworldly roar. And all of a sudden, it's like the shadows stretch from the head through its mouth. And that is a natural 20.
But is this an action? Because it
This
doesn't take any
is-
actions.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it just
Halt.
ends its turn.
Right.
Doesn't move, takes no actions.
Fantastic. Well, actually, what kind of save is that?
Wisdom.
Okay, let me do one thing. As a bonus action, they're going to use Kirashton's Enduring Rage and immediately attempt to save against one condition that you can make a save against.
It's still minus
Also-
a D4 because he's Baned.
Oh no.
It's a 4. I haven't rolled for a save like above a 12 tonight. And I keep getting rid of these dice.
Last time you had a couple too where you were just like, I gotta throw this die away.
That's his turn. That brings us to Cheshire. Cheshire, what would you like to do? You can see he goes to strike, and as it rises up and the shadows grow dark, and even the light that Minka is providing begins to falter, because this is going to be a critical hit, he just stops.
Why, Alina, running that way.
I'm sorry. This way?
Yeah.
Fold.
That. Yeah. Mind Sliver on him, though, on the way, so that's an intelligence save.
Okay.
Nice.
Minus D4.
Natural 20.
Minus a D4, not that it matters.
I mean,
No.
So hang on one sec. What kind of save?
Intelligence.
So natural 20, 16.
Pizza.
Oh, okay, that was so close.
Wait.
That was very.
Wait, I have a reaction that's new to me, so I just want to double check the rule before. I would like to Cosmic Omen him minus a d6.
Nice.
Okay, you got low.
I got woe.
Okay,
So, and that was a saving throw.
correct.
-2.
There you go. So you unsettling words.
This is some fucking synergy, right?
Mind sliver.
It's Mind Sliver. So you throw Mind Sliver. As you do, you can see it's like they rage through this and they shout. And as these shadows rise up, even though they can't attack, it seems to almost put this aside. And then from where Minka is, you can see this individual elements on the back of where Minka is. These little stars that are light up form this certain constellation, and it's like it pulls elements away from what he's able to do. He shrinks just a little bit.
8 psychic damage,
Okay.
and he subtracts another d4 from the next saving throw he makes before the end of my next turn.
Thanks. That's 2 d4s.
Correct.
Oh man.
Oh,
And how much damage is that? It was 8?
8.
Oh, okay. It seems to do the full amount of damage. So,
And then healing word to Minka.
Excellent.
For 8.
oh, great. That's such a good turn. Great turn. All right, Cheshire, that's your turn?
That was my turn.
Fantastic.
one
Alina,
goes
what
in
would
the
you like to
history
do?
books.
Cheshire just says, Alina, why? And just runs.
I'm sorry, okay? Free action, I'm sorry, okay? And, okay, Alina's gonna say to Minka, Minka, can you hold him there? And then she's going to cast Hunger of Hadar, which we've reflavored as Hunger of the Hunt.
Yes.
And she's gonna put it back here so that he's just at the edge of the radius so it doesn't hit us.
Okay.
It's a 20-foot sphere. We've reflavored it to be hunt flavored, so instead of gross tentacles and slurping sounds, it's grasping branches, the baying of hounds, galloping hooves, and the distant sound of a hunter's horn. Thank you, Kara.
You have a Sirenscape for that?
Not yet. I'm working on it. I'm on vacation, man.
Okay, yeah, so it basically just takes up this whole corner here.
Yeah, very nice.
And
Fully team go.
amazing. All right, so it creates, so the area is difficult terrain. It doesn't do any creature that starts its turn in the area, so the damage would happen
On its turn.
Okay.
So yeah, as you cast this spell, all of a sudden around the various horns apparently go off of all different shapes and sizes and varieties. There's war horns. I think there was like a traffic horn. There might have been like an old 1960s bicycle in there.
Definitely.
But certainly the and then there's like the huge vines that go out and the ground begins to crack and you can hear just the sound of like the summer at night begin to emanate out of nowhere and it gets just a little bit warmer. But
And so he is blinded, and just mechanically, just so everyone's aware, so none of us can see into it. He can't see out of it. And
He's
I
blinded?
think
Yeah.
he is blinded, yeah. I think mechanically it means all the advantages and disadvantages cancel each other out.
basically, yeah.
I'm glad that you
With-
gave us this handy status ring holder, Joe.
What?
We're just hanging.
Oh, him, yeah.
Yeah.
And then so Alina's going to back up, and as she's backing up, she's just gonna call out, Get him!
Get up!
Get him! And don't forget I asked you if you could hold him in place, okay?
No problem. You yell all those things out as
That's my very cool turn.
very, very cool turn. That entire zone is just like overgrown, like bits of vines and jumbles of rock, and you can hear these sounds emanating from within what is essentially just a magical thicket that has erupted in this area. But that is Alina, Minka, what would you like to do? Followed by Billy.
Yes. Okay. So, first question
Yeah.
is, on the way to this location, have we seen any plant life?
Very little, but you did see some like dried up dead grass. I think that might have been it.
Okay.
There's grass.
Okay. And we've gone down.
Correct.
Okay.
So the
So-
soil's more fertile.
If you're looking for roots,
Yeah.
it would be it would be, you saw like really stony soil, and there's like rock, like masonry around you, so
Yeah.
probably not.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So I just wanted to like
Yeah.
think. Okay, so the first thing that's gonna happen is that the Dryad is going to heal Minka for 6. Excellent. Okay, and then what she's gonna do is that she's gonna turn and she's going to drop the Dryad and instead cast Entangle in so it's a 20-foot square. So she's gonna cast behind.
Kind of overlapping in the same area.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So that is a strength check, saving throw,
Minus 2d4.
minus 2d4s.
So it's, I just want to say it starts as a 21.
Okay.
And ends as a 15.
That is 1 too short.
Oh,
It is restrained.
That's fantastic. For what it's worth, it is immune to being restrained, and so as that
Don't
wraps
add
up
to the
and kind of goes around, it just seems to disappear through.
This made us.
Oh no, you tried to.
We tried to paralyze.
Okay.
But
This made
so
us shadows.
seeing that happen, Megan's gonna get very excited for a second and then get very sad. And then she's just gonna turn around and follow Chester and go, oh boy. Thanks, Selena, but oh no.
Is it able to take reactions, Vincent?
Problem.
Yes, but did it?
You can't see.
It's also
It's
blind
blinded.
now.
It's blinded. Okay, yeah.
If it can't take actions, why can't it take reactions?
Well, it was just
It was
like
just
four.
Because it's like halt for the
Yeah,
turn.
it's for the
Yeah.
So at the end of your turn, can some I would say Minka, because it's trying to follow you, can
Yeah.
you roll a d8, please?
8.
Come on.
A 3.
Sorry, Minka.
Yes.
No. So
No, I know.
the way that I figured it out is 1, 2,
Yeah.
3, and so it's going straight toward you.
Does it go
15
past the
feet.
threshold?
So the way that it works with Shadow Step, it disappears, it vanishes, and then reappears 15 feet away or 30 feet away. So it has to be a straight line.
Yeah.
Does it get more than one reaction?
No, it only has one reaction.
Okay. Didn't it use? Oh, wait, never mind.
It was a turn ago.
Yeah. So does he appear next to Minka?
I think it's 5 feet away from Minka because it can't quite get up, or it would have to go way too far.
No,
Yeah.
it's
As
right
a proof
where
of
you put
concept,
it
I think
first.
that works pretty well.
No, absolutely. It was all set up. This is just the wrong enemy.
Yeah,
I'm just the yes was more of just like that is exactly my luck thus far.
Yeah,
With
yeah,
Minka is that the more she tries to escape from something, the more it follows her. The harder she tries to not, the more
No
it does.
problem. It chases you straight through the darkness. It can't even see you. And as it bursts out on this other side, you can see it's like looking in the wrong direction. It has to sweep across. But then the eyes lock on you and it flares up. That is your turn, Mika?
That was an action, a run. I still have my bonus action.
Okay.
It's 5 feet away from me.
There's 5 feet between you.
So I'm going to bonus action shoot it with an arrow.
There you go.
Because it's now far enough away where I could actually shoot it.
As long as it doesn't have a range of more than 5 feet. If it had a spear or
If it has a
something.
reach.
Yeah, if it had a
Like a-
reach.
Oh, okay. Okay. So that is a 22 to hit.
22 hits, yeah.
Nice.
So that is a D8. This has not failed me yet. Excellent. So that is a 10 radiant damage.
Nice. And that does a fantastic amount of damage. More than you would imagine it would. And as you are able to finally turn, this thing is almost upon you, and that's kind of startling. So you let loose this arrow, and it strikes it right in the middle. The radiant energy glows in and seems to almost like x-ray it from within. It's beginning to start to flicker around the edges. It's beginning to look a little bit hurt, for what it's worth. Anything else, Minka?
Nope, that is all my things.
Alrighty. Billy, what would you like to do? Or you're on deck.
Billy can also talk to the people who have the token. Billy's going to reach out to
Menti?
Menti?
Sir Menti.
Sir Menti?
Sir Menti.
Sir, Space Menti?
Unsure.
So meant
I wrote it as like CERMEN.
SERMENT. I don't even remember anymore. It's one
Sir
word.
Menti!
Oh,
And say,
I thought he was knighted.
how can we make you warmer?
You see, he looks up and he goes, Lady Carnata, your voice is different. I told them they shouldn't be here. I'm sorry.
And Billy runs forward the 30 feet.
Go, Billy, go.
And that's an action. Just gonna shout it, and shouts, "Lady Carnata said we can be here," and cast healing word on herself.
Nice.
So that's 6 points back to Billy.
Okay. You slap yourself and there is this little of healing. That is your turn, Billy?
Yeah.
Alrighty. You shout out into this room that you have permission to be here. Ori, what would you like to do? Valis, you're on deck.
Do I know who the
that was
fuck
great.
Lady
That was
Coronata
fantastic.
is?
Would you like to use your action to make a history check?
Do I get my thing?
Would you like to use your action to make a history check? What are you doing, Ori?
Bonus action dash.
Okay. This is how you're stalling to think.
4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. I think I get
You
right
get right.
behind
You can get
Billy.
right behind Billy.
Okay. Can I see it from there?
Yeah. It's out of the darkness now.
You know what? I am gonna use my
Make a history
action.
check. You do not get your plus
Damn.
thing.
Nice dramatic thunder in the background.
That's a 10.
A 10. No idea.
The fuck is Lady Corvada? What the fuck is
Never heard of it.
Warden's office?
Anything else, Ori?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, you consider things. Valis, what would you like to do?
Let's see. Walk up 60 feet to it and hit it twice with my sword.
Yeah, go for it.
Get him.
Ooh, 11.
11. 11 is a miss, unfortunately.
Natural 20.
Very nice. That is a hit.
Woo! You know what? I wasn't gonna
Very
smite.
nice.
But now I'm gonna smite.
Yeah, it feels like you almost.
Yeah, on a crit. It's
Alright. And I only have.
You gotta do it.
That's the rules.
Critical smite. You gotta critical smite.
So this is my weapon damage, and let's see, and it's a level 2 smite. 'Cause that's the only spell slot I have left.
Get him.
Make it count.
All right, so that is going to be
That's good rolls.
11 slashing damage,
Okay.
but then also 19 radiant damage.
Radiant damage is double to 36. Woo.
38.
38. Sorry, I can do math.
I was like nodding along, like, yeah, 19 times 2 is 36.
And as I
Dallas
hit
gets
him,
his
I
due.
I said, leave her alone.
So you can see, Mega, you are like this dryad. It slams into you, it heals you, and it dissipates. And as it like dissipates, you take the energy and swirl it around to throw it. And this creature just moves straight through it. It moves straight through Alina's stuff. It's coming straight at you, and then you fire this arrow, and it like almost hesitates. That radiant energy is just enough to kind of stop it. And then you hear Valis from behind to say, "I said, leave her alone." And it comes through, and you see as it moves, the edge of the blade just ignites into this radiant green energy and almost cuts this creature in half. Just hums through, and your arrow, actually like the magical arrow, falls and dissipates on the ground as it's cut free. He is almost like completely able to bend at the side because it's hewn through to the spine. But he is still up. Anything else, Valis?
Not bad.
He is looking real rough.
That's it.
Okay. That is your turn, Valis. That brings us to Silverpaw. Silverpaw suddenly, though nobody can really see him, is re-emerging from a mouse hole where that corpse is behind the counter.
Aw.
And he's going to end his turn on the counter. He thought Valis was there. he moves so much slower than everybody else.
He just looks around, like, oh.
Yeah, he's like all of you guys, but even more so. So that is Silverpaw. That brings us to Rez.
Peppy at the end of Star Fox.
Oh, that's big thunder. Dang.
Thunder.
If we lose power, sorry.
Suddenly the stream ends.
Yeah.
Dramatic.
And we're dead.
Well done.
Rez?
Oh, I'm sorry. All right, Rez was like, okay, I got this. Alina, check me out. Yeah. And he does an attack.
Yeah, make an attack roll.
Alright. It's more of a sting.
Ooh.
That's gonna be 24 to hit.
All right, yeah, 24 absolutely hits. As he's like flies towards us, you can hear in your mind, Alina, I learned this in training camp for the Blood War. Watch! Ah! And he like runs over and just attacks. Go ahead
Okay,
and roll
we're gonna have to
damage.
talk about what the blood war is. This is the second time you brought it up. It's weird.
All right. 4 points of regular old piercing damage and a Constitution saving throw, please.
All right. Is he taking what? Just 1d4 now, right?
Rez is just over here hopping franchises.
1.
17. All right. So that's going to be another
Well, now we have to have a one shot that's like
3d6. Oh, you said the poison damage didn't do
in
anything,
the
right?
blood war.
Oh, bummer. All right. Well, it would have been great.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. So that's what you got. That is Rez's turn. That brings us to the top of the round. This brings us to the shadow creature. So, with Valis pulling this halt, they're going to turn, and Valis, you are going to take the entirety of Karashkin's
Smashy
Unbridled
smite.
Fury. That is 3
the,
attacks.
Did the shout do anything?
Each one is minus
No.
a d4.
Sad.
So I guess I'll do them one at a time. So first one, that is going to be a 23 minus 1, 22.
That hit.
Okay. Second one is going to be a natural 20 minus 3, so 24.
-6. I'm gonna minus a d6 from
Oh
that
yeah,
one.
go for it.
5 minus 5.
19.
That doesn't hit.
Oh, look at that, saving the critical. And then the third one,
Love this, whatever it is.
that is
Yeah,
going
it's
to be
good.
6 minus 1, 25.
That hits.
Okay. Any, okay.
No, that's not here.
That's still, I mean, yeah, I minus D4 for all of them. Damn. So, yeah, you saved off that critical hit. That's huge. Valis, you are going to be taking, oh, wow. I forgot because I haven't been landing with any strikes. 11, 15. You are taking 22 points of necrotic damage from the first strike that you get hit with.
Ooh, that's a lot.
And you are taking 14 points of necrotic damage from the second one. And can you make 2 wisdom saving throws, please?
Yes. Let's see. Eight.
Okay. Your strength score is reduced by 3.
All right, and the second one.
Yep.
14.
As he hits you in the strength, and you can feel like the armor that you are wearing suddenly becomes almost too heavy, really. You try to take your step and you almost stumble. He goes to strike you again, and you cannot afford to lose that strength again. You basically throw yourself to the side. It is not elegant. After that cool smite, this is the opposite. You kind of slam into the wall a little bit. You like scrape on the floor and come back to your feet. But he does miss with that second one. And that, I believe, is going to be his turn because he doesn't want to move. That brings us to Cheshire.
Oh crap. You're running around the corner to join Alina now.
Okay.
And you got this, Valis! Inspiration. And throw a minus right too.
Nice.
It's an intelligence save.
Minus D4.
Correct.
So there's only going to be a 16 to start. and a 14 total.
That will not succeed.
Yeah.
5 psychic damage, and it subtracts an additional d4 on its next one.
So 2d4. Oh. So as you strike with the psychic blast, it right through, and Valos, you can see this creature is like flicking apart and almost completely insubstantial. You can't see bones, you can't see organs. It's beginning to like fall apart and become like smoke, but it is still just barely up. Is there anything else, Cheshire?
That's it.
All right, Alina, what would you like to do?
Eldritch Blast his face off. Alright, I'm gonna shoot 2 Eldritch Blast beams at him. Ooh, that's gonna be 2 22s.
222s? Yeah, both of those hit.
Dope. Alright, so that's gonna be whoops. Total of 26 points of force damage plus 3 points of bludgeoning damage.
Tell us how it happens.
Hey!
Yeah, that's,
Oh,
you needed 3.
Already.
All right. So he's got like weird tendrils coming out, right? So I imagine both blasts hit him square in the face, and then the tendrils kind of like fizzle out, and his regular body just falls.
No problem.
With a big Eldritch Blast shaped hole in the face.
No problem. So it strikes, and it strikes into the shadowy flesh, and it leaves essentially a crater, but there's no blood. There are like little flecks of darkened shards that might be considered bones, but it just sublimates away. And as he dies, there is just nothing left of this corpse. For a brief moment, I would say, Valis, you do ever so slightly get just this brief of undead for like a second as that spirit is released, and then nothing. And because we are out of initiative, this is where we're going to go to break. So it is 8:15 or 8:18. We'll be back in 10 minutes. Thanks for sticking with us so far. Howdy, folks! Welcome back to Adventures in Alberon, Courts of Everest. If you stuck with us through the break, thank you. If you didn't, welcome. And we'll just pick right back up with our 5th edition D&D campaign. When we left off, I'm so vacation mode already. When we left off, you had finally defeated the Angry Man, this shadowy creature whose name you didn't quite catch before dispersing him using powerful radiant blasts from Minka, from Valis, and then ultimately a very strong Eldritch Blast from Alina. Rez helped too.
We're going to just talk to stuff.
Yeah.
Thought about things.
With all of that, the body seems to just disperse into shadows, and you are all out of initiative. You are in this main hallway. One second, let me change the music here.
Good job, everyone.
And the magic Ori in your bow just.
I fell down to my knees.
Whoa, that was. I'll go try to pick him back up again.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run over and do a cure wounds with my hands. And I don't have my
Like a medicine check or something?
No.
Okay.
It was an actual cure wounds.
Okay, gotcha.
I just had a thought. I was like, I was debating whether or not it'd be worth it to turn on chalice mode for that. But then I realized that we might, knowing our, like, you know, oh, I should have. It was a 3. 3 points to Valis.
Just 3?
That's it. I rolled a 1 and a 2.
Every little bit counts.
Thank you.
Valis, you feel the spell begin, and that's it.
Those last 2 fights took a lot out of me.
Yeah. Is that with the modifier and everything?
Oh no, I forgot. She has a +4 modifier, so that was.
There you go.
4.
Even for you, a little too.
I agree.
I feel like your
7
spellcasting
instead
mod
of
is
3.
higher than 2.
Yes.
So 4 more?
Yes.
All right.
I forgot that not all my spells get the modifier, and then sometimes it's only when it's chalice mode, and so sometimes I just like, fuck it, whatever. Close enough.
It's a lot of bookkeeping.
Yeah.
It's just, I love being true. It's the best. I like, unironically, I do though.
You also picked like one of the harder druids to run too.
Yeah, she's great, but I love it.
So, what are you all doing?
I'm gonna say that those last 2 fights took a lot out of me. I think I am out of magic for the time being. Except for what remains in Ori's bow, which is still shining. I did make my concentration checks.
Oh, nice.
Look at that.
Well, okay, well, it looks like there's... Sorry, did we notice that the lock on the door disengaged?
Now that you can turn and like Ori's back in here, you can see only 2 of the locks. The 2 lower ones are the ones that are engaged.
We're like, that wasn't... Was that you?
I found that. Yeah, I found it at the end of the hall.
Oh, great job.
I'll be right back.
Okay, so that wasn't
I'm gonna
for
run.
nothing.
Back here.
You see a little rat that's just like sitting up on the counter, and you just see it for like a brief moment before it
Like,
scurries
I
away.
give him a
Scurries away.
nod. And like, thanks.
So,
And yeah, I'm gonna check out the filing cabinet there.
Yeah, make an investigation check.
If this is like the other shadows, it's just a rest, right?
There we
Short
go.
rest, yeah.
Natural 20.
Very nice.
I mean,
Can we afford a short rest? I don't know.
well,
if
I'm
we
not
can.
really sure. Who is this lady, whatever, that you mentioned?
the weird amnesiac in the torch room mentioned her when in his mutterings. I thought maybe it'd be useful. Apparently not.
What was the name again?
Lady Carnata?
Carnata?
Yeah.
Who's that? Do I recognize the name?
Make a history check. And actually, no. Don't make a history check. Make a history check for Rez. In the back of your mind, you just hear Rez go, Lady Carnata. Why does that sound so familiar?
I had some Carnata tacos, maybe? History is wisdom or intelligence?
Intelligence.
All right, that's a 15.
I don't know, Alina. That seems kind of suspicious to me, but I can't really put my finger on it. Sorry.
Okay. Great job, by the way, in the fight.
Thank you. Did you see? I mean, I'm pretty good in the fight, right?
I saw you, buddy.
I went right through him.
Yeah.
Cut a hole straight through.
I know. Give him a little,
Fist bump.
and then I'm like, you can probably go invisible again now if you want, because it gives you that sneak attack. Not really, but just like, kind of.
No, it lets everybody else shine on the battlefield. I understand. No worries. And he just disappears. Ori, as you go around the corner, you pull open these drawers, and there is just like ruined, crumbling paper in much of this. They're individual little cabinets, and so you pull them out, you pull them out, you pull them out. And one of them, as you pull it out, there is just this rolling metal bottle, and you can see it is full of this colorless liquid. At first, it almost seems empty. You touched something that had some of this on it. This is umber moss extract, about 3 doses of it. At one point, it carried 4. The remains of that 4th one is probably on your hands.
This is the poison that I got all woozy from. That's soaked in for a bit. So it's a low level poison, right? Well,
Make a nature check. What is everybody else doing?
I think Minka's going to investigate whether or not Rez casts a shadow as an invisible person in the daylight.
Make a perception check.
Sorry, what was I making? Nature?
Yeah.
17.
1.
You are like, I can't really see, so you turn off your bright light, and then you're like, wait, and it's just dark. And you're like, I should have done the wrong order. Hard to tell. For you, what was that?
17 for the
17.
nature check on the poison.
Not necessarily low level. You don't get a save against it. I mean, it's something that you can't really resist, and it gives you disadvantage on wisdom saving throws. That is interesting. This is very purposeful, and it's definitely used to... You think about how Cheshire will give people inspiration and then throw a spell right at them. This seems kind of similar in that way. It's designed to be a setup for something else.
Okay. Is there like a little note of what it does that I can get at some point?
I'll say, oh yeah, no, I can give you like the rules for it. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I thought you meant like they come wrapped up with like a note that was like,
No.
Hi.
"Dear assassin, dear assassin, thank you for purchasing our product."
Okay. Type instructions.
Yeah.
So I think having
Easier
fully cleared
truth
that
teller,
out,
so you're
I'm gonna
here.
return.
Okay. You make your way back to the main chamber. Right about the time that Minka just goes dark. What are the rest of you doing?
Sit.
You sit.
Is Speak with Animals still active? It's 10 minutes.
It's
but
been,
it's been a
it's been
while.
gone.
Okay.
So, are we waiting? Are we moving?
Vincent doesn't remember where else Silverclaw told him where the locks were.
Yeah.
But I'm sure Dallas does.
Yeah.
So
It's been like 2 minutes.
You know that this is the officer's office, the warden's office. You remember that there was one that was somewhere in what is labeled the trainee barracks, and then there is one somewhere beyond the door that is labeled Medicae.
like 3 rooms in Medicae and behind Smoky Room training barracks.
In the training barracks, there is something that smells like smoke, a hallway that smells like smoke. Seems to be in there.
Alright.
I would like to remind you that Silver Paul referred to the Medicae as where a smelly man is.
Yes.
The other 2 rooms is the larder and the
larder, which we've explored
We already
pretty
looked in the
thoroughly.
I don't remember looking in there.
The only
think
person that explored it thoroughly really was Cheshire, and thoroughly is a strong word. I mean, it was glanced through.
Did you still want to go to the larder? You said you wanted to go to the larder after this room.
Yeah, I can already scope it out.
Billy
But
notices.
larder. I was gonna look for chocolate, and Alina's just gonna
Was
go
there any
look for
food left in
Make an
there?
investigation check.
No. Nothing of use.
Alright, well,
Billy looks around at the doors, looks at the one that vaguely looks like medical, and kind of heads towards that. It's like, this has got to have something in here.
Sure. No worries. You make your way in that
One of
direction.
the locks is in that way,
War
and I will
room
follow you
and-
behind 10 feet.
the security check.
I'll be right there.
So you, Alina, Remind me, sorry, I got distracted. There's a lot happening there.
Alina's just gonna look for chocolate as promised,
Yeah.
but she'll bring Rez, and I think what she wants to do is step in and be like, "You smell any chocolate? No? Okay, let's go."
Yeah, and so you just kind of, I smell vinegar, like really bad wine, but no chocolate.
That doesn't sound like chocolate. All right, and then
I think that powder over there was potatoes at one point.
gross. I think we can probably go, and then clap, clap, clap to join the group.
Okay. Make your way back. There was another check, and it was Ori, I believe.
I had just returned.
Cool. You had just returned. So you make your way over to the
Oh,
Medicite.
I did do the 17 nature check on the glossy, the umber gloss poison.
Yeah, I gave you that already.
That was, yeah. That was,
Billy, you make your way to the Medicite room, and that particular door has no handles, locks, or knobs, and in fact, it looks like we've been joking about it, but it looks like just a push door. You can see hinges. Okay, yeah, you push it. They're rusted, and so it's like a long creak, but it's not hard to push open. There is a 60-foot long, 35-foot wide room that just opens up into it, and it is just lined with beds. You see beds that go all down rows, maybe like 11 or so in all, although there are some that are broken and kind of in disarray, so it's hard to tell the total number. They do look like they were made of stone, and they had mattresses at one point, but just like straw now, and you do see hints of blood. There is a desk all the way at the end, and you can see it only because all the way at the very end, on that desk, there is a hooded lantern, and there is just ever so slightly a dying flame in there. And so as it kind of flickers, there is just like little shadows cast by all these beds and the table, and then it kind of dies down and it gets darker again. And that's what you see.
Anyone got some lights?
is my arrow still glowing?
Your bow is still glowing. Not your arrow, your bow.
My bow.
Is
You got a torch in
is
hand.
Minka with us at this point?
If no one is, like, if Billy and I are going in and
Yeah,
no
I'm
one else
just
is
there.
following us,
I'm
I'm just gonna
following.
yell to everyone, like, you know, Billy and I are going to Medikai. Come along.
Who's going?
Okay.
I'm going.
Cheshire!
I
Any
found
threads
this.
in here?
Or
As,
trap.
as she
Perception
goes, Alina's gonna pull out a torch from her pack, and remembering that Minka, she's seen Minka set things on fire before, and so I guess even if Minka's not joining them, as she walks by Minka, she'll be like, "Hey, can you?"
Oh yes. So when I rolled that natural one, I'm assuming I accidentally ended the daylight spell because I'm thinking about it. Or did I
No, you
end-
can still have the daylight spell.
Okay.
Yeah. That
So
was
then-
more just like the star form.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, I thought when the whole daylight spell, I was like, no. So I will light the torch and then I'll also follow. Just like not like
If I can see that daylight is still out,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I'll still have a lit torch just
Okay.
for
Generous.
funsies.
No
but-
worries.
Torch.
That was a 21.
Okay. Well, the 21, you go in, and then suddenly the whole room just bright. There's daylight, there's torchlight, there's all kinds of things. With this added light, you don't see strings. However, you do see that there are spaces that are designed for, they're like these little metal rings, and you can see there are like 2 or 3 broken lanterns that at one point hung from those. And so there's kind of broken glass around the periphery of the room, and that does twinkle in the light here. You do see at the very far end of the space, now with this additional light, there is what looks like a door of some kind, or 2 in fact. One of them is wooden, and there's a sign above it. You read Elvish, right? Just says supplies. And then there's another one. This one is made out of that same adamantine that you've been seeing. And above that, it says... A second here. Oh, I love this real life thunder. Man, isolation.
Let's check out supplies first.
Wait, what was the second one labeled?
Isolation.
Isolation, thank you.
do they mean like a quarantine or like a
What's
That's-
isolation?
mad
That's
person?
probably it, right?
But wait, we already
I
fought the
think it
angry
could
guy.
be either of those.
The one?
Could you ask the mouse again?
Oh, I don't know what the mouse is, but my my magic that lets me talk to him is probably gone, and I can't cast any more magic until I take a long rest.
Should probably take a back seat. You're not looking so great.
I still have my sword.
All right.
Oh, right, because you don't speak. Oh, yeah, the wooden one is supplies, and the adamantine one is isolation.
Correct.
Oh,
I think
that
we
makes more
should-
sense.
I'm gonna go eye for detail the isolation.
Okay, make an investigation check.
Just as you know, a thing. It's isolation and it's a big metal door. That's probably not great. You know, like go to try and keep something in or us out. You know?
Yeah.
I
that's-
agree.
I mean, you're not wrong about that.
Love that. Oh, it's so good.
There's some
I hope the thunder's picking
folks
up.
watching the stream. I don't know if y'all can hear this, but there is some crazy Wrath of God thunder outside.
Please
right
let us
now.
know.
It's so good.
Yeah, great.
19.
I want to check the other door for traps as
Okay,
well.
make an investigation check. With a 19, you can see the... Which door are you checking out?
Isolation.
Isolation? Okay, so you guys are checking out the same door.
No, I'm checking out supplies.
Supplies, cool. With a 19, 17?
19.
19, you can see a lock. This seems to be pretty secure. You can also see... I mean, there's nothing hidden. There is no trap on this. Although you do note that there are mechanisms that seem to lead away from this room. You can see as the wall is crumbling away in places, like metal work within. And so you've already seen... Make an insight check.
15?
A mechanism of some kind. Maybe an HVAC.
That you have a roll.
There's no like window in the door or anything.
No.
Alright, locked door, locked on the outside.
That was
All
the supplies
isolation.
one that you were investigating.
Isolation.
Oh,
I'm
Billy's
gonna hold off on picking it.
1 second, Vincent.
14.
14.
Yeah, and that's with the bardic. Thank you.
Okay, you go over. Yeah, Bardic definitely helped out. So you go over, and you
Thanks,
look.
Bardic.
It's a much simpler lock. This one, just integrated into the door, probably part of the actual design. However, you certainly see that there is a thin filament that runs through the lockpick, designed to be snapped if something were to be inserted, and that probably sets up some kind of trap.
I'll tell that to the party.
Okay.
Billy's gonna kind of rifle through the. There's a desk, right?
Yeah.
With the lantern on. Billy's gonna rifle through the desk.
Okay, make an investigation check.
All right.
Is it a magical lantern?
Does this trap seem similar
No,
to
he said
the
just
ones
a-
we've encountered
Oh,
with
sorry.
statues
The one,
flies through the
You
door?
call
Make a
it
sense
the
motive check.
lantern.
the one with the string that, yeah.
No one else came in here. It was just us, right?
9.
Hard to tell.
Hard to
People
tell.
have been here before.
Why? But why is there a lantern?
Because
on?
people have been, people are still here.
That's a good question, Minka.
It was lit, right? So, like, I mean, we knew that people had come through here before us because there were signs that
So they've
people
been
had
here
blown stuff
recently.
up. But, like,
Ori, how long?
I mean, how long does a hood lantern last?
Yeah,
In the back of your mind, Alina,
Never needed one.
you're gonna say you hear Rez just go. Yeah, I don't know, Alina. I remember before how I said I smelled something weird.
Yeah.
Remember how I said I swear to you, I swear on all the hells, I'm not trying to bring you anywhere. It just kind of smells a little bit helly. That's all.
Okay. Noted. I mean, are we gonna get like dragged down there right now? Because that would be inconvenient.
It's really hard to get dragged all the way to the hells. I mean, there's a whole process that you got to go through. And can I tell you, the bureaucracy there, crazy. But all of that considered, I mean, I doubt you're going to get dragged just straight away.
Okay. Maybe I'll ask a different question. So if you're smelling like helly smells, could that mean that there are just creatures around that are from there? Like that devil that you mentioned?
Oh, yeah, I guess. But they would need to be somewhere very nearby. Like
Like right behind us.
Well, how about that guy that we just fought? Did he smell like the hells?
someone kind of like you guys.
Yeah. Okay. All All right, noted. And then Alina's just gonna say to the group, all right, so there might be something up here with us from the Hells.
Did you say that? Any of that conversation out loud with Rez?
Nope, all of that was telepathic until I turned to the group and said there might be. Yeah. So keep extra on your guard.
The thing we fought before it went away, I had a hint of it being undead before it fully dissipated as it was leaving its victim's body.
Yeah, I mean, he just seemed like a human that had been like overtaken by something, right?
Possibly an undead spirit of some sort.
He sounded like the amnesiac out in the hall.
Yeah. And they both said the same thing to us, right? How we're not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
Look, I'm just saying that, Rez just keeps getting whiffs of like, what the Hells smell like, which, like, it might mean that there's, like, a creature from there really close to us.
Perhaps this creature
Could it
is
also
guarding
be
or the cause of the link to
that it's
the
a connection?
whatever it
to
is
the-
that we were here to
It's
sever?
the Shadowfell, though, right? We're here to cut the shadows?
History.
History.
The Shadowfell's not the same thing as the Hells, right?
8.
Make a history check. 8.
Can I just ask Rez?
Yeah.
Rez, is the Shadowfell the same thing as the Hells?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
If I want to try to open this door, I can try to whack
I
it.
gotcha.
It has a trap on it.
Okay.
Um,
I'm gonna
Disable trap. Make a sleight of hand check.
I don't know what you just asked him.
Thank you.
What check
Sorry.
did you just make?
I was asking if the Hells could be where it's connected with the.
Same question.
Same question.
Same
What was the answer you got?
I don't know.
You rolled a 9.
Hard to tell.
Billy rolled a 6 on her investigation check. She's like, I found a
I'm
lantern.
gonna go ahead and bring this
Still lit.
over here.
It's not useful.
Did it work?
Probably not. That was a 12.
I mean, and you're trying to like
To disable the lock pick. And it was the string one, which I had done before.
so technically meets
Or
a
it was a
piece.
single. Yeah.
However,
Nice.
yeah, it's like it takes you a while, Uri, and you have to dig in there, and you can see this tiny little filament. At first, you don't see it, but Valis seems pretty much on the up and up, and so you look for it a little bit longer, and you do catch it tracing out and like pulled hot against this lock. It's really designed to easily be triggered,
Scrape it off.
and so you just scrape it off apparently, and that does the trick.
Just a little.
And with a 12, the lock opens and no trap goes off. You can see on the other side, and this is the supply closet, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can see on the other side of this closet, it is not like a step-in room, literally just like a closet. And there is, on the other side, on the top shelf, 3 potions of some kind. One larger than the other 2. On the bottom shelf, and I would say you recognize the first 2 as regular healing potions.
Okay.
The next shelf down has a dark green potion. It has a light green potion. It has what you've seen at least one person use, a healer's kit. It has an entire rack of glass vials, 12 of them, with stoppers. And there are 2 scalpels, which are daggers mechanically, but very much sharpened scalpels, ever so slightly corroded. And that's what you see.
Looks like medical supplies.
Billy like elbows her way in and just like
Can I
puts all the glass vials in a
dark
bag.
green and green?
Do you give Billy those glass vials?
Hey, she can take the vials.
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna.
Can I get one of those?
I'm gonna
Thanks, Billy.
take the potions. I want to check out the dark green and the light green.
Make an Arcana check. Or a
Uh,
nature check, your choice.
Billy like sees him holding up the potions out of the corner of her eye and kind of like looks over at them.
Billy, make an Arcana check at advantage.
I like to also try to
Go for it.
All right, and
Okay,
I'm gonna
Arcana.
go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go history then.
None of my dice like me.
Ooh.
Aw.
19.
But all the people like you.
19 history.
Okay.
On the dark green and light green.
And then yours?
18 Arcana.
18 Arcana. Billy, will you voluntarily fail a charisma saving throw?
Yes.
Go ahead and re-roll that check.
Yes.
In your ears, as you are looking at this, and you really can't quite make heads or tails of it, unbidden, there's a memory that comes to you in your mind, and somebody from long ago in your past just chiding you. Stupid child. You've done this before. And you just refocus, and you have seen these somewhere.
Natural 20.
That voice belongs to one of the aunties.
Of course it does.
And you realize in an instant, you aren't remembering that. You're hearing it now. This is a potion. All of a sudden, you are aware of cure poison, and a potion, the lighter green one is cure poison, the darker green one is cure disease.
Those are useful.
Oh, yeah?
And Billy communicates the information, so you might want to put those somewhere safe.
I put them somewhere very safe.
And Valis, you're like, man, I knew that.
And the top 2 was like 2 healing potions.
I would say with your check, 2 healing potions and a potion of greater healing.
I'm going to
Okay.
give the potions for healing to you.
We should probably have multiple people carry these. I can take a regular healing one.
Well, you should probably take one right now, yeah?
Well, we can use more magic if we're
I'm
gonna
doing
be
all
sitting
right.
around.
I think I've still got a couple myself.
You have healing
so
potions already?
I think I've got one left.
Do you have one? Healing potion,
Just a
regular
regular
healing potion.
regular
Healing
one
potion,
for,
yeah.
for Amina.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so just to recap, we are down here looking for a connection of shadows, possibly the Shadowfell. Did Sentinel?
Sentinel, yeah.
Did you say Shadowfell specifically? We're cutting the ties over the blood throne.
He
I have I have a
Right?
strong
into the Underdark.
belief
Who?
that the
The
threads
Sentinel?
of the throne
Sentinel?
might be what is
Correct.
linking
Yeah.
this
Into the Underdark.
to
Underdark.
the shadows or the dark.
Right.
Not, which is different from the Shadowfell?
Yes, and you would know this more than almost anybody else because the Underdark is a place that you're very familiar with.
Yeah.
The Underdark is the regions underground, multiple caverns and tunnels. It really is just the subterranean continent that exists beneath Alperon.
Right, so the Underdark. I thought it was the Shadowfell. Okay, anyway, that's separate. Okay, so we're getting hell smells. There's a lantern already lit. Magiocracy generally tend to be kind of dickish. What if we were led here to clean up someone else's mess? We have someone who's lost their memory from the Austenlock, right? They're library people, and you were doing research. There's a good chance that they were doing research here. If it's connected to the Underdark and there's hell stuff, maybe they were, researching something here with the shadows and the cracking, and then something went really wrong, and now we're here as a cleanup crew.
Given what the Sentinel, my understanding of Sentinel is, and how it was presented, that doesn't seem like
Make an insight check.
something that he would send us to do. I think it seems below him in a way, right?
Make an insight check and make it at advantage with that thought in mind.
28.
Yeah, so you've heard of Sentinel before. Sentinel is the bastion that separates the magiocracy from the rising storm and the dark things that wander down from the valley where whispers die. He could be considered a hero. People are a little bit afraid of him because he is one of the most powerful magic users on the continent. He is somebody who is rumored to be able to see into the future. And so probably not. I mean, if the idea that he wouldn't be able to clean up his own mess, especially after very easily just completely knocking you out and then teleporting all of you twice, probably wouldn't need to do this.
Right. This doesn't seem like something that we would have to do, I think.
Still, Love that nervous questioning. Keep that up.
I think whatever we need to find out is going to be by continuing and finding these other two folks.
Well, the
3 locks.
The supplies closet seems to be go no further, so it
Pick
seems
clean.
as though the isolation is where one of the locks is going to be.
Alright, everyone drink up your potions and I'll give this lock a you'll try.
While Ori's doing that, Alina's gonna kind of pull Valis aside and be like, you remember how you could do that thing that, like, could tell if there's, like, undead things around? Like, can you do that with, like devils or, like, you know?
Oh, let's see.
Valis. You're aware suddenly, because you are much weaker, of a significant tug on your pant leg. And looking down, you see a little out of breath. It took him a long time to get here. Silverpaw, who's just been looking for you this whole time.
Oh no.
And you just hear this little, and he just like tugs, and you can see just gesturing, but you're not quite sure what he's saying.
Okay, I say to him, sorry, but I can't understand you anymore.
Make an animal handling check.
Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. That's a natural 1.
Oh no!
You could see
You've changed, man.
he looks up, and you could see like pulls the ears back, sees that you can't quite understand them, lets go, and then you can see it's like they have an idea, and they just go. And they do these little motions, and then you watch as they turn. They go up to like the isolation room, and then they like, and they have to like skitter and push themselves like really hard with their legs to like wriggle under, and they just disappear.
Okay.
Did I see it as I'm like going to get ready to pick the lock?
Yeah.
Scurried on her. Oh, should I wait for your friend again?
I think he wants us to follow him. I think he's trying to show us how to get to the throne, and I think him going there shows that he is trying to.
I think I just go Skype it. Back
Can I use an insight check to see if I understood the hand motions as a wait here, or
Yeah.
follow me?
I would say you could make an animal handling check or a sense motive check or insight check. Sorry.
Okay. Let me see. I think my animal handling is
Are
worse.
devils and demons considered fiends?
Yeah, both are variants of fiends.
Oh, yes.
Is that,
so,
I mean, is that something you can do, like,
insight?
I can probably do. I think I can do it once more, and it'll be my last before
I know
we can
my
take a
alphabet.
longer rest.
Okay.
Do you
Oh
wanna
no,
do
it's
it
the
right
same.
now.
I mean, not if it's gonna, like,
So
really
it's
tap me
a
out,
total of
just,
19.
19, and which one?
Animal handling.
Animal handling. You, as they go under, you're really trying to put it together, like what happened, and as they disappear, you're like, it seems like they might have been trying to tell Valis and the rest of you guys to like go away, maybe like off to the side. And then it seemed like they kind of gave up on the idea that they were trying to do, and then they seemed to be like, oh, hang on, I have a great idea. And they scurried underneath. And at about that time, all of you hear this little.
Oh.
Where? Oh.
From under the door.
Sorry, mate. Don't think Silverpaw is doing so well.
Oh no.
I'm gonna try to pick the lock.
Make a sleight of hand check.
I'm gonna ask Raz if he thinks he can slip under there.
What?
18.
With an 18, you go in, and this lock is complex. The one that you'd seen before seemed to be like a relatively simple lock, like what would be built into a door. This much more complex, and that does not seem to do it. Additionally, can you go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw, please?
I guess I can. I believe that is a 22.
22. So as you like try to wiggle around in there, you hear a little of like a stone shifting somewhere in the room, and you flatten yourself as a little dart overhead and just into the wall on the other side.
Well, this one's a tough meant to crack.
Hold on. Rez, remember how you did such a good job of figuring out how to turn into a rat?
Yeah,
Do you think maybe you can get under that door like he did, except you'll be invisible?
but you heard that, right?
Yeah.
That's fucked up. I'll do it.
No, you're right.
Like, would you do it?
Hey, Ori.
I mean, you get to get
I think I found
Okay, no,
something
you're
that
right.
might
You're
help in
right.
this
You're-
desk
you're
here.
okay, You're okay. I'm sorry, buddy. You're right. That was uncool of me to ask.
It's all right, Alina. We're learning.
Billy tries to distract Ori so that he comes over to the desk
Okay.
to create an opening for somebody else.
Okay. So you go over to the desk. You go with Billy, no problem. Is anybody else going to try to do something with this door?
I will try to pick it.
Okay. Make a lockpicking check
Guidance.
with guidance.
Billy like gestures towards a door that, like a drawer in the desk that like might have at one time been locked, and it's just like
Eye
there
for
might be
detail on the
something in here.
desk.
Detail on the desk. Sure. Make an investigation check.
27.
27. This lock, not hard for you, although it is one that takes a considerable amount of your skill. It's surprisingly close, but you do make it, and you manage to navigate around the small filament that seem to be drawing the opening of some kind of hidden door shut that would then fire a dart out as well. So that doesn't go off, and you hear a little, and the door is likely unlocked.
Wait a minute.
5.
Wait a minute.
Hard to tell.
Did you check to see if any of those keys would have opened it?
Nope. There is a key that certainly fits into the door.
Billy kind of like smirks a little bit.
The door is now locked again. The door is unlocked.
Oh, good thing they're labeled.
It's been a whole week of just trauma dumped into like the last 15 minutes or so.
Okay. So, we definitely won't forget those keys again, because we'll probably run into more locks, right? So, good job.
There are two more keys on that ring.
Valis, about my question?
Divine sense.
Okay.
Celestial fiends undead within 60 feet, not behind total cover.
So, I mean, Rez. But aside from Rez,
I cover his little ears.
hey, who you calling Celestial? So as you cast this across, you have a passive perception above 17?
I do too.
And you do too. The two of you, and you as well. Wow. As you are like beginning to like cast this ability and use this ability, the rest of you hear what sounds like almost like water being pulled out of a drain, but not quite. It doesn't have any bubbles. There's no liquid movement. And as you cast that, nothing.
I don't sense anything, or I'm not able to sense
You're not.
anything.
You don't sense anything.
Okay, I don't sense anything nearby.
Did you hear that?
just happened.
Oh, what if it's more goo? It's probably more goo.
Have you fought goo before?
Yeah, a few times.
They're formidable foes.
What works
Something
against them?
just squelched.
Yeah.
Was this
horse flesh.
sounded like
Something
a squelched?
squelched?
It was
Squelched or
Drained.
slept?
goopy.
Does the goo corrode weapons? I don't know if
Oh yeah. I lost a lot of jewelry to it last time.
A horse.
Well,
Oh dear.
Morse. Right.
Did we open it yet?
Say again?
Did we open
it's
the door yet?
unlocked.
No, it's unlocked.
It's unlocked but not open. Okay.
I'm gonna. Well, no sense waiting here, right?
Oh, just everyone back away from the door if you're gonna open it.
Just-
Just we should take one big step back.
It takes a big step back,
I'm gonna
and then
just-
another one for
I'm gonna
you know.
open.
Heal myself
I'm
a
gonna
little
stay
bit with
behind it in
lay on
case
hands.
anything comes out.
Yes. Okay, and Minka's gonna put herself so like the light will go through the door as it opens.
Okay. So you put yourself off to the left so that when the door opens, it just creates like a beam straight in, and it is just a empty 20 by 20 stone room. You do see there are areas for chains to be chained to, but none. there is against the far wall what looks like a metal grate, and it looks like it is almost like a chimney-like structure that then goes up. And so probably if this is an isolation room, in a very rudimentary way designed to like pass air up and down without going through the rest of the structure, whether it works or not, this is like medieval medical device. But you also see on either side of that grate, there seems to be just little tufts of silvery gray fur, very similar to silver paws.
Is he moving?
And you see above that what looks like a handle that you could grab onto and then turn, very similar to the one that Ori has turned to open one of the locks.
I see. I think I see Silverpaw.
I'm gonna peer around the
Make a
door.
perception check.
Is he moving? I can't tell.
Is he moving?
Is it just his fur or like?
Like little tufts of fur.
26.
But there's no rat there.
No.
Okay.
With the 26, you peer in and you see more tufts of fur that go in and then up.
Something grabbed him and pulled him up. Where does it lead to?
Can't see.
I'm gonna go in cautiously,
Okay.
knowing that there's probably something up above somewhere.
I'm gonna bust in uncautiously.
Okay, so Ori, you go in and then Dallas stumbles in.
Oh, shit.
And you look around, and both of your approaches very similar in results. You are now in the room. You look up, and there is a ceiling overhead. This, whatever this leads to, doesn't seem to connect to the room. This is probably a vent that goes to the outside.
Okay. And something pulled up. Does it just like the streak of Silverpaw just continue?
There's no streaks, there's no blood, there's just little tufts of fur. And actually, now that you're closer and you look in, if you get right up to the grate and you peer through with Minka behind you to cast enough light, you can see there are cracks in the stone. And so it could be that they were, without blood, probably not, but they could have been yanked through the stone. They also could have been yanked straight up. And that's assuming that something is yanking Silverpaw around.
Wouldn't it be nice if we had a small, tiny thing that could go into the grate and check the chimney out for us?
I'm gonna walk
okay.
under where the tuft of fur is, ready in action to hit the thing that tries to grab me.
Okay.
You should be careful.
You walk right up to this grate that is pressed up against the wall.
Or we could
The
just walk
lever's
into
right
it,
up.
that's fine.
And you can see these little tufts of fur just with the wind that your feet make, but nothing else. Nothing grabs you.
Just all right.
Okay, hold on.
It's more when we turn the dial there.
Hold on.
So you just
Rest.
Yeah.
I run and turn the dial.
And then you all hear from the main room. Just one of those bars opens up.
Get out, and I get out.
Valis runs out. The rest of you are like, nothing happens.
Okay. Listen, I'd really like to know whether Silverpaw like what happened? Like, did he just climb up there? Can you go look?
Could it be that like a hawk flew down and snagged him or something? Just like
Free check.
like freak accident. It's just like flying over. Oh shit! Lunch. Oh god.
So many people in this room are on vacation mode.
Oh my god. I love the whole deal. No, free. You don't even need to roll for it. That's ridiculous. First of all, when you approached, you saw that there's just like ruins and masonry. So that assumes that a hawk or some kind of creature flying over somehow sees like lines perfectly up, like perfectly down, where there's nothing but space between that and like 80 feet down to the ground. And then on top of that, that this creature is actively looking down at that time. And then on top of that, somehow it dive bombs 80 feet through a small crack or crevice, squeezes through the grate that the rat couldn't really get through without losing fur, grabbed it, and without losing a single feather, made its way back up. No, not that. I like where your head's at, though.
Ballast is torn. I know this is not a good idea, but so there's like some type of vent that some goo might have been able to go through. I'm assuming with the rat, right?
Well, if it's goo, absolutely.
Could it
yeah.
be like
Then
a...
I'm gonna like throw rocks at the vent to make noise and vibrations to draw it back.
We have
Alina turns to Rez and is like, you know what? Never mind.
Okay, he's like getting closer. He's like, okay, and he like backs up again.
So-
Nope, you
the
know what? I
rock
think
clang,
Valis has
the rock
this.
clang, the rock clang. Make a perception check.
Given the noise and the fur and the fact that there's like this vent in this grate, does it seem like something could have come through and like done whatever it did to Silverpaw and then like got drained out and that was the noise that we heard? And it's not necessarily like a sentient goo thing again?
Hard to tell.
Um,
What was your check, Phyllis?
You said what kind of check?
If you're like trying to throw rocks and like see what's happening, perception.
8.
8. You wait, and there is no response. A few rocks kind of pile up behind the grate.
Alright, don't stand on the grate and just...
hold on.
The grate is set into the wall, so you can't.
Yeah,
stand
it's
up.
like
it's
a
into the wall.
So like it's great, like maybe like 3 feet, and then it twists and goes up.
Oh,
Like a
okay.
chimney.
I thought that...
Silverpaw said that there was a smelly man in here. Has anyone encountered anything that could reasonably be construed as a smelly man?
I mean, it smells really bad. I've been trying to tell you that.
Yes.
Thank you, Rez. Yes.
A couple times now.
Alright.
I'm just saying, right? I mean, he said that this area was where there was like a smelly man.
Alright, well, we gotta unlock this, so we should go to the next one.
Yeah, we can go. Let's go.
If there's nothing
I
here.
think Silverpaw might be not of this world anymore.
We don't know that.
He's
We
probably
don't know
dead,
that. There's no
right?
corpse.
Hard to tell. You do see a bunch of fur and no rat, and that doesn't tend to bode well. So,
Alright, I say we leave this room and lock it back up.
Whatever got it is probably in the vents, so...
Have
we're
we
just gonna
seen
be-
any other vents on the walls like this one?
no, this is the isolation room, and so, yeah.
I usher everyone out of this room
Okay.
and then have Ori lock it.
Is anybody okay? Is anybody resisting this?
Billy.
Yeah.
We need to know what's in the vent.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
send
What
the
if
imp.
Do we need to know why?
He has
We
a
have
name.
we heard
Send Rez.
a weird sound,
So whatever
There's supposed
his
to be a
name
thing
was.
here. and
You
there's
wanna
not.
give up some of that chocolate.
Maybe if he's
Okay.
a bit nicer.
Hold that thought. Rez.
No, I'm all aboard. Billy, what were you doing?
Billy, like, no one's going to like go look in the thing, so Billy like goes over to pry the grate open.
Okay, make a athletics check.
As you pry it,
12.
can I hand you a crowbar as you start to pry it?
So you like you wrap your fingers in, you yank, and your purple skin gets almost white with the pressure, and then like tap on your shoulder, crowbar. Make the check again with advantage. You do notice like Rez the rat kind of scurry up and into the grate as you're doing all this.
12.
It doesn't seem to make a difference. It just seems like maybe the grate's too small for the crowbar to really get into, but it's
We
okay.
can buy the shadow, but I can. can I
Billy
give it
just
a
like
try?
tosses the
Okay,
crowbar
Rez
back.
is already up there.
unlooking.
Clang,
Rez is
clang,
already
clang,
up
clang.
there. You are fine. Okay, Rez, what are you seeing?
So Rez like scurries over to the part where it goes up, and he looks up, and he goes, I see a lot of rocks, and maybe it goes outside. It's a little cooler up here. But Alina, down here, there's like some cracks in the stone, and a bunch more fur, and I think it goes deeper. But it's pretty,
down?
it's pretty tight. Yeah, I don't even think I could get through. So Silverpaw, probably not.
Okay, so it seems like if something did grab him, it came from down instead of up.
Yeah, probably. Or I mean, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Can you
okay.
smell anything?
Any more weird smells?
This takes a deep smell. It's just really more of the same
is he a rat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have advantage?
for the smell.
Yeah.
No, right? Yeah, yeah.
Rats have keen smell.
Okay, so
I'm looking at rats.
this particular time, he like gets in and really focuses and smells. Goes, oh, Lena, it really does smell like a devil, but weird. Like it's been corrupted, which is weird to say, I know, but like, you remember that guy, the owl guy?
Sentinel?
Big owl, yeah, whatever. He was saying something about how like stuff wandered in and it changed. You think like that could happen to me?
No, we won't let it.
But I mean like something like me?
Maybe.
Just something to consider then. I don't like it.
Listen, I won't judge you one bit if you want to go back to your pocket dimension for a bit.
Okay. Disappears.
I'm gonna grab the crowbar and try to open it as well.
Make an athletics check.
Alina's gonna report out to the group and just be like, okay, so it looks there's like rocks blocking. If it's like a vent, it goes up. There's like rocks blocking it, but then Rez saw some morpher like going down, and he still smelled a devil, like maybe like a corrupted devil. He said.
Blood, something that can move through the stones. Is this like some sort of blood demon?
Make a history check, I guess.
15 athletics.
Okay. With a 15 athletics, you are still unable to pull this vent away. You're close. You can feel it begin to give. You can, in your weakened state, you would imagine it's going to be really hard. You would need like almost a natural 20. The DC goes up every time you try something.
Oh.
So like just to kind of discourage like sitting there but if you want, I mean, you can, if your group is going to take a short rest, you could opt to, instead of taking the short rest, just pry this thing open. Something to think about. 15. With a 15, no idea.
Really only be taking the rest for you to recover your strength, right? So
somebody else could also, theoretically do it.
Billy,
I mean, I can, if we just want to get it open, I can blast it, but
I could also just.
We can't. None of us can fit down there. What are we gonna do? We're gonna open it up and then we're gonna go look at the hole.
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah, I mean,
we
Rez said
gotta
that
keep
even
going
he
further
didn't
down.
think
We're
he
not
could-
gonna fit through the cracks.
Yeah, even Rez said he didn't think he could fit through there, although he might just be scared.
If it's
The best
just
I can
cracks,
offer
I don't
is to make me a rat, and I'd go down there.
Going
but
to check out
unfortunately,
the
if
next
I
area.
die, I would just get crushed.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
everything is leading us back
Keep
towards the
looking for
lock.
the next lock.
So,
Yeah.
okay.
good to know what's down there,
You
then.
make your way over towards the trainee barracks.
I take the hooded lantern with us.
Okay. Is everybody going?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we should lock this door behind us.
Okay. Cheshire, what are you doing while all this is happening?
Going along,
Okay.
watching.
Oh,
We didn't check the desk. That was it.
Multiple times the deck has been
yeah.
checked. It just hasn't been checked well.
Okay.
Got a 5. It's like, there's nothing over here.
As Minka grabs the lantern, she's gonna look at the desk and see if there's any evidence of someone being there
Make an
recently.
investigation check, yeah.
Certainly not 2 people before you. No one has opened drawers.
Absolutely, no one has been there,
Yeah, looks like
and
a
it's totally
desk.
fine. And I totally
Definitely-
have plus
Is that
4 I think,
mahogany?
to investigation. 18.
That's clearly
An
walnut.
18,
No, it's too
you
red.
find
Not
so first of all, you
Reddish
find
brown.
nothing, but you find a very meaningful nothing. There are elements of like wood staining that show that something was here for some time. The dust would mean that it was probably moved at some point. It looks like some form of gold, perhaps, or bronze, or something that gives off a little bit of a green sheen, has kind of stained this area and since been removed. And with that check, it's hard to tell. You can almost swear you've seen like a little symbol in there before, but it's hard to tell if it's a symbol or an element in the wood or a part of the stain. Tough to tell, but it does tug at your memory a little. You make your way over to the trainee barracks, the 4th door, and you can see it features the crest of the Kirlor Tel Eldar garrison, which is a jade wolf. This is split in. Oh, sorry. So it's a jade wolf, and it's split in 2, so that one side of it is on either door, so it's like a seal when it's closed. The door itself, or as you get to it, is ever so slightly ajar, and so you imagine probably not locked. It almost looks shut, but it's just ever so slightly like pushed open.
intentionally?
Hard to tell.
Did someone,
Insight check on the door.
did someone leave it unlocked on purpose?
Again, really hard to tell.
All right, I'm gonna open it.
Wait, check the cash
Cautiously.
first.
You
Yeah.
open the door cautiously.
Cautiously.
And as you open it cautiously, you see within what looks like a barracks. Row upon row, not just single stone beds. These are bunk beds made of wood, some of them sagging now, all along the walls with one single row along the center as well. In the back, only about like 40 feet deep is this room, but you can see there are several shelves that hold a few pairs of boots. Some of them maybe even in like good enough shape to wear, but all like stained and relatively
Are
old.
any of them boots of fast?
Are you just running over and just trying to like you gotta help me out here, buddy. You do see some remnants of sheets and pillows that have been strewn across the room. There is a broken footlocker that is sprawled across one bed. You see there are a few crates that were here pried apart now, scattered across the space. That's what you see just at first glance.
Right, nothing dangerous seeming, no signs of a vent system above. I'm gonna continue in.
So you walk in and you glance off to the right and you do see
Seems alright.
there is a corridor that leads out of this room. There's no other obvious way of leaving. And instantly as you step in, you smell like not even cold fire.
Oh,
You smell like charcoal. You smell heat. Active heat that is coming from somewhere down this corridor. It is only about 5 feet wide, only about 10 feet tall, and in fact, it reminds you a lot of the corridor that you see right in front of you there. Similar 90-degree bend.
Something's probably at the end of this. Kind of like the other thing that was at the end of the other hall. That was very similar to this. I'm gonna be sneaky now.
What did Silverpaw say? It was smoky. At the end of the smoky.
Something smells like smoke.
Something smells like-
Was it someone that smells like smoke, or
The
something
hallway.
smells
The
like
hallway smells like smoke.
would I recognize this? This doesn't smell smoky though. It's just heat.
Make a perception check.
While Minka's gonna communicate like the mysterious lack of item to the closest people, who I'm assuming are
27.
Alina, Cheshire, and Billy.
lack of what?
The like the fact that the desk had something and now it's gone.
And what kind of check was that? Sorry.
Perception.
You look in, and the first thing that you notice about this corridor, at first glance, it looks like just kind of stone, like the rest of the corridors. It isn't. It is textured to look like stone, and that already,
Weird.
it's mind-bending how much it looks like stone because it seems to be metal. This is all designed to look like imitation rock, but now that you're getting closer, places along the floor where people have walked and scraped away elements of the sort of oxygenated, like darker part on the outside, it seems to be like a little bit of a glint, and you can tell it is metal. Whoever made this, a lot of care has been made to make it look like the stones around it. Yeah, you've never seen anything like that.
What is this again? Is this
Does the room itself like superheat or something?
Hard to tell, but you do not feel heat coming from this wall. It is warmer in this hallway, and so it seems like there might be some source of heat beyond.
I had a bad thought.
Okay.
Silverpaw said he could see strands. Special. Rats have a good sense of smell. And Rez could smell the smelly, hell. Hell has a smell. What if by smelly man he meant the devil?
It's a possibility.
Give me a minute. And Billy starts crafting the ritual for Unseen Servant.
Okay. Is anybody gonna mess it up? You've seen it multiple times, and every time Billy does it, somebody goes and does exactly what Billy is trying to do. So just checking to see.
Yeah, you've
Keep
got
an eye
10
on
minutes
it.
to fuck things up.
What are you trying to do?
I'm playing the flute right now, man.
Well, she's gonna
I'm
summon
Are we
her guy, so we can
going
probably
on
just
the
Sneak
wait.
then?
forward to
Yeah.
check around the bend,
Okay.
but not actually go around the bend.
Okay. So I guess Ori gets 5 feet closer and then stops.
I'm gonna go.
I'm sneaking.
I'm gonna go
Make a
watch
stealth
you
check.
cast that.
If you get burned alive, it's on you.
Oh no, I'm good. That's super sneaky. 27.
27. You creep all the way up to the hallway, but you don't go in.
I'm like,
While she, how long does this song
It's
take
taking
to
10
finish?
minutes.
10
Well,
minutes.
okay, so I'm gonna go back and talk to
slowly
Serenity
peeking
for a
around the
second.
corner.
Okay.
Why don't you
Are you
sit
actually
next?
entering or no?
Huh?
So, picturing it the same as this, I'm at this corner,
Okay.
peeking into where it presumably goes.
So yes, you are absolutely not heeding Billy's advice is the point that I'm trying to make here. You make your way around that little
sneaking.
bend, peeking over, and you see
That
those,
definitely didn't
If
backfire
anyone was
last time.
gonna do anything, and you were just like, no.
you see another 10-foot long corridor similar to the one that you just traversed. Similar like faux stone walls and floors. Here in this hallway, as you turn the bend, the
Just doing nothing.
the false stone panels take on much more decorative sort of fastenings. And you see on the left and the right hand side, all down, various styles of weapons and armor. You see, and of course, you read it. Sorry, do you read Dwarvish?
Do I don't.
No idea what the fuck this says, but there's a bunch of writing on there.
Would I recognize it as Dwarfish?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Dwarvish is pretty distinct.
Yeah. I'm gonna go back and be like, there's something in Dwarvish up there. I can't read it.
I gotcha. And
We can just like sit and like rest for 10 minutes.
Still playing the goddamn flute.
7 minutes has gone by.
let's just wait for
Oh, can your
Billy to finish.
can your
And
servant read Dwarvish?
It takes on a sharper tone.
all right, tell you what.
8 minutes. has
Did you
gone
want
by.
to wait and rest an hour? I think I need like an hour's rest to get
don't
any
think
type
we
of
can
rest. I don't
rest
think
if
10
they-
minutes will do it.
Look, I have a ritual that that I can use to read the Dwarvish, but I forget. Is it 1 minute or it's 10 minutes, right, to cast a ritual? Yeah.
So it seems like everybody needs 10 minutes to do something.
None of us can read Dwarvish.
Just hold on. And Alina summons Rez back. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Do you read Dwarvish?
No.
Okay, just checking. Listen, can you stick around? Just keep me apprised if the devil smell gets stronger.
It's a deep smell. Smells the same to me.
Okay.
This, I mean, there is something weird down there. It smells like fire, but not like hellfire.
You want to go check it out?
I guess. Can't Ori do that? That's kind of his thing.
Yeah, but you're so much cooler and sneakier than he is.
Yeah, you're right. And he just.
Had 10 minutes left before that?
So, like, as they're having this conversation, the invisible servant appears.
Thank God. And Billy directs it to go down the hallway and turn the handle it finds.
Okay. And so as it begins to like hover down the hallway, Rez is just like, but can't Ori do that? That's kind of his thing. And this unseen servant like goes up to the door and it's just gonna
Turn the handle it finds.
okay. So turn the handle with vines?
It finds.
Oh,
The,
okay. So
the
I was
handle
like,
presumably
what
on the
vines?
wall.
What did I say about
Looking for
vines?
the lock handle.
So it heads over and you can see there is no handle. It just seems to have a door, and in the center of this door there is what looks like a metal square. And you see it is ever so slightly recessed, probably designed as like a button to push. It's a push door.
I have to cast this twice. Push the door open.
What is, there's a strength limitation to it. What is it?
Hold for looking that up.
Yeah. Because it's gonna be close. I think it is strong enough.
Got a strength of 2.
Oh no, it needed a strength of 6. So you feel it just kind of like collides with the door and collides with the door, and it doesn't seem to be able to do that.
All right, let me let Rez go in there. And
Okay, why don't we just wait the hour? Last time we activated one of these things, we got
I
attacked.
think we can afford to wait that long.
If we're
Something
yeah, but
knows
Val-
we're here.
Yeah, but if we press the thing and everyone gets lit on fire, or someone's a fire demon, or the floor opens up and there's lava or something, I don't know.
why don't I send my tiny invisible familiar to go do some recon?
Alina, do you want to just go?
Yes,
No,
please.
She runs down the hall.
You didn't hear him say that.
No one speaks
Where is
Dwarvish,
Serenity,
right?
guys?
What's his strength?
While looking that up,
He's not pushing anything. He's just looking.
Yeah, okay.
Billy goes and checks on Cervantes.
You close your eyes and you check on Cervantes. And you could see he's sitting back in that same hall, and he shakes a little bit, and he just says, They got him. I knew they would. No, that's not right. It's still too cold. She'll get them all. She always does. And if they take too long, then he'll come to... No. And just seems to draw back into himself.
Billy's just blinded and deafened in her surroundings, so she's like saying this as it's happening to the people around.
And it's hard for you, Alina, because at the same time, like right at that moment, Rez in your mind starts going, all right, I'm going around the corner, and yeah, there's a door over here. You want me to push it? It's got a button.
Nope, don't push anything. Just look.
Oh, there's some weapon drawings. It's, I think this is a halberd. I think this is a glaive. I never really understood the difference between the two, truthfully. This one I think is maybe a pole arm of some kind, but it looks more like it's designed to hit stuff with.
Just drawings of weapons?
There's some little markings underneath them, but I don't know what they mean.
Okay.
All right.
Fall back.
All right.
Should I go again then? Have we exhausted all of our magical options?
Well, sounds like...
I'm gonna go try to unlock this one.
I'm gonna sneak back over.
Okay. Using your previous stealth check, no problem. You creep your way 10 feet up and then 10 feet around the corner. And you make your way over to the door. You can see this square directly in the middle. What do you want to do? You want to push it?
Are there any notable hidden traps?
Make an investigation check.
Or anything? Does it seem like this is mechanically related to the metal room and gonna fry me, cook me in an oven?
Make an investigation check.
There's also just like somehow a little like ball presence next to you.
Can't read.
Just
walking into the wall.
14.
It's a Misi.
Every now and then you turn, and for some reason you feel like you almost need to apologize, but it's okay. It was a 17, you said?
14.
14. You don't see any traps, but I mean, it's just one big square in the middle of the door. That doesn't seem super legit.
Nothing like above me. It's all
Metal
just
stone.
like metal stone.
I can't read what it says.
If you can give it 10 more minutes, I will
How long
cast a
has it
spell that
been?
will allow me to... I mean, actually, you know what? Hold on. She's gonna use
There's
her
nothing
Rod of
else
the
to do, right?
Packkeeper
I gotta push
to
it.
get a spell
I'm
slot
pushing it.
back
Okay.
and just cast Comprehend Languages
So,
as like
As
a
you
normie.
use your Rod of the Packkeeper, you feel the spell slot reappear, and then you hear down the hall as Ori presses the button. Ori, can you make a dexterity saving throw, please?
23.
23. Ori, you leap as the entire wall and door lunges forwards, almost like a piston, and
Oh,
it
there it
would
goes.
like bump you to the bottom corner, but you throw yourself back, and all of you see Ori like backflip and just appear. Ori, make a dexterity saving throw. You watch as the wall directly in front of you pistons Ori back out to direct him down the hall. Ori like dives to the side, and you can see he like lands almost like prone on the ground, and then like barrel rolls over to the stop. Ori, can you make a final dexterity save?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. And at that last minute, you pull yourself up. You see at the far wall that piston, little slots open up, and then 3 saw blades come out to either side, and they over your shoulder and just into the stone on the opposite side. And then everything resets.
Is the door open now?
You're all the way in the main room now. Hard to tell. Your unseen servant
Alright.
is disappeared.
If that was me, I'd probably be dead. I don't know how you just survived that.
What just happened?
I don't know.
What did you do?
I pressed the button.
Do you still need me to read Dwarvish?
Yes.
Okay. All right. What do I need to
Push it
avoid so
again.
that doesn't happen to me?
Just don't push the button.
I
Just,
won't. Okay. I won't.
I'll come
push
with
the
you. But like, don't push the button.
button. Okay.
Until we read what it
Is anybody else doing anything during the 10 minutes of comprehend languages being cast?
Billy's just gonna try and leave the room.
I'm gonna cast it as a spell.
Oh, great, no problem.
Yeah, that's why I use
Man,
the thing. Like
you cast
ignore
the
me.
spell. There you go.
Man.
And as you walk around the corner, very careful not to touch anything, you look and you can see these strange little glyphs reshape and squiggle into common. They're prices and labels. And as you look up, above the door, you see in Dwarvish it reads, Darngar's Cinder Theft's Door of Woe. You see underneath that in very small writing, tap the button twice. Additionally, you can see all along the wall names for different weapons and prices. This seems to be a shop just beyond here, or at one point. Or maybe thinking about this, you're in a military camp, maybe like an armor repair area, something like that.
Are there still weapons there, or is it just signs?
As far as you can tell, so there's a door and then signs on all the walls. You haven't opened the door yet, and so this would be like the store or armor shop or whatever is beyond.
Oh, but there's no goods on display
Correct.
here.
This is just like metal tablets
What's it say?
that have been carved to show the different things that are available.
How do we unlock this door?
Alina's gonna walk over to the button and tap it twice.
Okay. You walk over to the button and it just opens. And instantly, as it opens up, a blast of hot air hits you. And you can see directly in front of you, there are three figures that are, or sorry, not three figures. There's one figure, like a statue, and then what looks like a whole pile of just like broken metal and elements of like rock. And in front of this figure, gray skin, small, low to the ground, white hair, white eyes, you can see what looks like a blazing forge. Over top that forge, give me 1 second here.
Sorry, the figure you just mentioned is the statue?
No, the figure that I mentioned is a Duragar.
Oh.
And they are in front of this forge, and at the moment you can see in their hands above these hot embers, they are holding what looks like a longsword. It is a black blade. You can see it is sharpened down with a color kind of gradually ombreing to a shining silver edge that is razor sharp. And the handle itself, black metal, it is worked to resemble a man and a woman twisted around in an embrace. Wings curve around to create like a hand guard for each of those. And it almost certainly seems to have magical properties to it. And in his other hand, he's holding a smith's hammer and seems to be in the process of finishing this thing. He freezes, and all of a sudden, you are aware as like the of the forge comes out. This door almost soundproof, and so he had no idea any of this was happening. And so he turns and is just like, you see the eyes go wide. He almost drops the sword into the forge and just like dumbstruck. The three of you with passive perceptions of 16 and up. Anybody else 16?
19.
Okay. So the three of you feel as if there are at least two more figures in this room. You hear other noises, and then it gets quiet. And he turns very slowly, like the smith's hammer in one hand, the long sword in the other. What are you doing?
Does anyone speak?
He just looks at you.
Do you speak common?
Does anybody speak Undercommon?
I say greetings in Undercommon.
Okay. So for the rest of you, you just hear him go, and for you, you hear him just go, do you speak Undercommon? And you just basically mirror the exact same thing. And he turns and he goes, who are all of you? Who do you serve?
He's asking, who do we serve? I say in common.
What are you saying to them?
I am saying to them the question that you've asked us, and I say that in Undercommon.
Okay.
And I'll tell him I am translating.
Okay.
So-
He kind of nods.
Okay.
You're not supposed to be here. You should leave.
Are you?
Sad one.
Do you serve the person who currently rules this place willingly?
No. I don't remember, but I know you're not supposed to be here. Quickly, you need to leave now, all of you.
Who else is in there?
Who else is in here?
You can see he like looks to either side of the hallway. You guys want a little visual perspective? This is not combat yet. You guys are doing well.
Yeah.
Just give me a minute.
Because we found the sad one. It was scared, angry, sad, and mean. This is the sad one.
I wasn't sure if we were going to get here tonight or not.
Well, we did it.
Or is it the scared one?
And we didn't get smushed by a
No,
piston.
scared is
First time server.
I mean, he told us that it was.
Nice.
Although I guess it could be.
And so all of you are
Sorrento's
entering
would be
this
very
way.
sad.
Stepping out from either side, you see
Either way.
two more Duergar who cautiously step out into view.
Oh.
I'm gonna pull the circle, push it back.
And so
Okay.
whew, you can see as you like step as they step around. There are three Duergar here. Two of them seem to have this dark chainmail armor. They all have white hair. They all have these white eyes. The other two look much more agitated. But the one who is speaking, you can see he just holds his hands up and he goes, "Not yet. You need to leave. I have to finish this, and then we're leaving too."
Sorry, what was that last part?
He said, I just need to finish this, and then we're leaving too.
Who are they?
Who is that for when you finish it?
He kind of looks, and for a moment, he seems kind of confused. Make a persuasion check.
Dice are not my friend today. 11.
It doesn't matter. I can't quite remember, but it comes and goes. I know I need her blood to finish this. And then we'll be done. And then we can leave. And you can see the two Duergar are like very the ones on the sides are looking very nervous back and forth at each other.
Are you relaying this all of this to us?
Yeah, I'm translating.
Billy says, ask him about Lady Carnata.
Is it Lady Kanata?
He's getting pretty nervous, and especially when you say that, he just looks around and he goes, "You're not supposed to be here. Look, there's a bunch of you and only 3 of us.
We mean you no harm. We are here.
Do they need healing or anything?
Do you need healing or anything?
No.
We are here.
What the hell? Tell me.
Tell him we're looking for Lady Carnata.
We are here looking for Lady Kanata.
No. That's not what you're looking for. You're not supposed to be here. You came here by mistake. We came here by mistake. And we'll leave as soon as we can. But no, you're not supposed to be here. Whatever it is that you think you're supposed to do, you need to get out."
Everyone has told us that we're not supposed to be here. Does Billy get the sense that this is some kind of like ensorcelment that has been placed on them?
Make an Arcana check.
They have been ensorcelled.
It's
a good word.
It is a
It's an SAT
It is a
word.
great
it is a
word.
wonderful word. Dirty 20.
With a dirty 20, almost certainly. You've seen this before, and this is a kind of enchantment that is probably termed very similarly by the spellcaster, and so you're hearing it repeated, those same commands, by everybody that's been affected.
I want to say to him. Wait, did you say that?
Yes.
You're
Relay.
under a spell. We believe it's by a lady, and I don't think that she will let you leave when you're done. We are here
Can anyone get rid of it?
face her, and I think that will also free you. I ask that you let us turn the lock around in the room, disengage the lock in this room, and let us pass through.
Make a persuasion check.
15. And again, we do not want to fight you.
No. If I open this, then you'll be able to go on. And you're not supposed to. Just wait. Let us finish. And you can come with us.
Ask him where he's going.
Where are you going?
We're going home. We're going to the Grim Ruin Union. It's small. And it's new. But There is nobody to bother us there. Nobody like you're speaking about. You should come, all of you.
They're not gonna get to leave, are they?
I try to convince.
Hard to tell.
Does it seem like? Oh, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, I do not think that you're gonna be able to leave. I think you're under a spell, and you will not be able to leave unless we can sever that spell.
Make a persuasion check at disadvantage. This is you getting to make it again.
But
Does Billy get the sense that, like, cure disease wouldn't help this?
Probably not.
what does the 7 get me?
Not a whole lot. You can see he shakes his head and he says, "You don't understand. Ever since we got here, we have held the Grim Ruin Wall. And something happened. I don't remember what. We came here to find out, and now I know if I make this sword, they'll leave us alone. Don't cause trouble. Don't bring their attention."
I relay this to the group. I continue translating for the group.
Who's they?
Well, as I say, it's too late for that.
Billy looks at the sword. Just, like, aside from, like, needing the blood, is it look like incredibly magical now?
No. It has all of the capacity to be a very magical weapon. This is something that is, and so looking at this, you're looking now around at the walls and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't necessarily match what these folks are doing. And so actually the craftsmanship of the walls is like a whole other level. That's something completely different. But these individuals also very, very good smiths, or this guy in particular. And you would imagine looking at this, make a, gosh, this is a tough one. There's no engineering, huh? Make a flat intelligence check.
Hate to say it, but Gunter probably would know.
Oh, Gunter would, yeah, I mean, Gunter.
Gunter probably built this hall.
This is extra flat. Flat 10.
Ooh, that is
The most average that it could be, and hard to tell.
That there looks like a sword.
Does it look like a sword?
Make a perception.
Can you ask how long they've been here for?
Yeah.
Cool.
How long have you been here for?
They kind of all look at each other, and he kind of shakes his head. And one of the other ones looks up at you and just says, "We've been here for almost 2 weeks. We have to keep bringing him food, or he won't eat."
Wait.
You can't hear him because it's underground.
Oh.
I just realized comprehend languages lets me hear too.
Ah, there you go.
I can understand, but I just can't speak it.
Who are you bringing food?
They like turn both of them at the same time, like tug their heads towards the first person, the one that's holding the sword, and they say, "Granmere."
Granmere. Is Granmere in the warden's office?
They like Granmere just raises his hand. He's the one holding the long sword and the hammer.
I think.
Oh, the others are bringing
There's
him
the two
food.
Durgar who are helping by bringing the guy who's making the sword food and stuff.
Yeah.
Billy, like, kind of leans over to Valis and is just like, do the other two seem to be under the same spell?
There is something different about these two. They've been looking back and forth at each other, very uncertain.
Did they?
I'll look at those two and speak to those two. Sorry, how do they look different?
They've been looking back and forth at each other. This guy in the middle has been talking only to you. And so they both seem a little bit more nervous. This guy, though he's confused and doesn't seem to really remember, very sure that you're not supposed to be here. These guys haven't said that yet.
I'll speak to them also on the comment and say, do you two also believe that you are not supposed to be here?
The first one kind of like, you see for the very first time, a very weak smirk, and he just goes, "Yeah, no shit." And then the other one shakes his head and just says, "We came here on patrol. We were supposed to check out why people kept disappearing, but there's something beneath here. Granmere went to check it out, and he came back all strange." And Granmere's like getting closer now, and at this, the first one just says, "I'm going to distract him, but you two talk." and he like turns and just looks over, and you can see this Durgar like looks at all of you just very suspiciously, but then goes over and just goes, Granmere, come on, we need to finish this. And Granmere again just looks so confused, and he just goes, yes, you're right.
How much longer does he need to finish it?
And like the two of them go off, and the other one approaches you and just says, I don't know. Something's weird with him.
Okay.
Ask them if they encountered anyone when they got here.
Have you encountered anyone when you got here?
Down below, there was a strange individual. It was like the air around them was sad.
Oh.
But aside from that, just the shadows.
Okay.
Did the sad ones say anything to them?
You repeat this back, and they just kind of they shake their head, and they say, "We managed to sneak by. Granmere's the only one that managed to talk to whatever it is that's down there as well. We weren't able to, and he says that we shouldn't go, and he won't open the door beyond this one for us. Best of luck with that."
A sad thing.
You know,
probably.
you're here on patrol because you know people have been disappearing.
Yes.
When Grandmere finishes what they've told him to, I don't think they're just gonna let him go. I think it might be in both our best interests to face what's down below and sever their connection to this world.
Make a diplomacy check.
Very good.
He has
Persuasion check.
Persuasion checks. Wrong system.
Vacation.
He's been here too long at this point.
15. 15.
You can see he looks back over his shoulder and he says, I'll go with you, but they need to stay. I don't know what's happening with Grandmere, but I don't know that we could trust him right now.
Okay. We're looking for... You've been here. I'll tell this to the party. What's your name?
You can see, first of all, he turns and he just goes, my name's Belgrim. Hang on.
Belgrim?
And then he turns and goes, Tisdale, can you just watch him? And we'll be back. And then he just kind of nods. And at that, Grandmere turns and he just goes, you're not going down there, right? And the other Duragar just goes, no, of course not. We're going to make sure they leave. And you see relief flood across his face. And he just goes, oh, good. He kind of turns and just shakes his head and just clang, begins to work on the sword again.
I'll say to, was it Beldgrim?
Beldgrom.
Beldgrom. Beldgrom.
I did not get it right.
He turns and he actually holds out his hand and he says, the name's Beldgrom Urnra, which you actually would hear as Iron Pride, but in Undercommon is Urnra.
Okay, I'll take his hand and shake it. I am Valis, Birchbillow. Before we set off, there is one more lock. I believe that is somewhere in this room to unlock the door with 4 locks on it in the main corridor. Do you know where
Just
that
a
is?
moment.
Okay.
Do they need food or water?
You see he walks and you hear chink, and he tries to creep up again and you hear chink, and he like walks back and he goes, on second thought, is there anybody in your group who's pretty sneaky?
I got this. Tell him I got this.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm like,
This
Rest.
is Alina, and I think she can help.
Yeah.
If
Rest,
she can
you're up.
sneak behind the forge, there is something that you can turn. It turns pretty easily. It does warm up when the forge is active, so touch it quickly.
Ooh.
I'm like, Rez, you're up.
that.
You getting all this? You're up, man.
Rez just goes, oh yeah, no, this is no problem. I got this. And you see he like just struts in, but as soon as he gets like kind of close to the forge, you can see he like steps a little further away and he like gives a wide berth to both Grandmere and the forge itself. Is he invisible?
Yes.
Even
and
while
fireproof.
invisible, he's going to go all the way around and kind of make his way back and just like stick his hand back and just... And you hear this little and the lock opening beyond.
Let's go be on our way.
You turn around and all of you begin to make your way out. You hear just the sound of the hammer hitting metal as it fades in the background.
Alright, one more to go.
I'll introduce Belgrum to the rest of the party and introduce the party to Belgrum.
You have actually opened all the locks now. One was open when you got
this
here.
was-
Oh,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
right. We did it.
All right. Well, everyone ready for the throne of blood?
When did we last eat?
It's been a few hours at least.
What's the throne of blood?
Does he speak?
He's talking to you.
Throne of Blood. We don't know, but we believe.
So wait, does he understand common?
You can't hear him.
Wait, he
But he heard
said
me.
that he was from. Where is he from?
He said that he was from a place called the Grim Ruin Union.
Can I? Where is that? Is that on this
Continent?
plane?
Make a history check.
Grim Ruin Union?
Yeah.
That will be a 22.
With a 22, there is a scholar at the Austenloch with the last name Grimrune. They hail from a land far to the north called Dominion, although they would have told you that they came from a continent that was once called Otholo Veldun. You don't know a ton about that place, but that is a name that is associated with a place far away. And so why there would be a similar name this far across, that's pretty strange. You don't know much about it. You haven't heard anything of it. And so beyond that, that's the only connection you really have.
Okay. We don't know what the Throne of Blood is. We've been told that there seems to be a Throne of Blood down. Can't be good news. And there.
Why are you trying to go? He's probably right.
Which continent are you from?
I'm from Otholo Veldun, originally.
Okay, we've come here from Everest.
From up above.
From up above, yes.
Just kind of nods.
How did you? I think I'm a little bit confused.
Walking as we do this.
Aaron Sorkin walk and talk.
I think I'm a little bit confused because
Sponsor.
he's from a continent far away. How did he? But
Are you
underground.
asking him this?
I guess I'm trying to think. Like, it doesn't make.
We got on a boat.
Make a flat intelligence check.
Roll for brain.
Just because
Or you know what? This could be a history check. This could be a history check.
Dallas doesn't get it.
History check?
Yeah.
Then that's gonna be a 17.
Okay. With the 17, when you think about reasons why people across history have left a place, there are only really a few. War, pestilence, famine. There are, huge events that can occur that will cause people to migrate. So probably something like that. But specifically, you can't think of anything.
Okay. We've been sent here tasked to severing whatever is tying this fortress to some other shadowy plane.
To the Shadowfell.
Yes.
We've heard echoes of it. That's a dangerous place that you're going.
Well, we're not trying to go to the Shadowfell, but our plane is linked to it, and we are trying to sever that link. And we believe the Throne of Blood is involved with that.
I don't know what the Throne of Blood is, but if there is an opening to the Shadowfell here, to close it, you'll need to go to the other side.
I tell that to the party. That is terrible. Any advice for a party such as yourself who may need to go into the Shadowfell?
I've only ever seen one person do it, and it was from afar. But when she did, she placed something called an anchor, or she had a servant do it. And that is what you need to destroy. It can look like almost anything, but it will have inscriptions on it that make it stand out.
She had an anchor? Or she destroyed an anchor? I don't
The Grey
understand.
Lady created an anchor.
Okay.
Like to a ship.
Do you think that's what Silverpaw meant with the strings?
Perhaps the strings are the anchor.
So we have to remove the anchor.
But if we have to do it from the other side,
Can you describe again how the person that you saw did it?
Well, she had a servant bring it across. A boy, really. But he brought it in to this swirling portal of darkness and shadow, and it seemed to create almost a corridor as he walked along. And at the end, it seemed to stretch out, and it looked like where we were. It looked like Othol of Aldun, but it was even darker. It's not a good place.
And that was how... And how did she destroy the link? Or was that how she created it?
That's how she created it. That's why we left.
Okay. And you were saying that the only way to destroy such a link, you'll have to go to the other side to bring the anchor back.
You will have to go through. I'm not going.
Oh, no, we're not having you go through. If you don't want to.
But I'll get you there. We need to go through the Underdark to get to where the echoes come from.
Okay. Any other questions I say to the party?
This looks like a pretty big track to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, are we spelunking them?
Are we are we at the door that's open now? Have we gone through it yet?
No, so you get right up to the door right at this point. And at this point, too, I would say he looks at you and he says, how many of your group are fireproof?
How many of y'all are fireproof?
I have a tiny friend who is fireproof.
I'm not fire.
We'll be wading through lava for just a little bit, and so you'll need to probably find a way to do that then.
Well, I can fly.
I can put somebody on my shoulders, and you can see he's like 3'5", 3'6" maybe.
How far, how much,
Maybe two of you.
how wide is the moat of lava that we'll have to cross?
Oh, it's not a moat. It's a naturally occurring feature, but about 100 feet.
Okay. Could we, I'll turn to Minka. Is it possible for us to, like, do that water walking thing, but on lava? Although it still sounds like it would hurt.
I can fly. I'll just carry people over.
You
Bildrum can carry maybe one or two.
Just one at a time. I'll just go back.
Oh, okay.
It works on fluid, but you'd still touch it, you know, and without hot foot.
Okay.
But I can levitate people.
There we go. We'll magic our
And
way
I can
across.
okay. So I think we have some ways. None of us are fireproof, but I think we can. Some of us can fly and levitate, and hopefully that should get us to the other end.
All right. I mean, I am fireproof, so I'm fine. But
You said you've gone down this way before, and that's where you saw.
so we're going.
Mir talk to the lady.
We're leaving the upper dark, and we're going to go deeper down, and we'll go across elements of naturally occurring features that this ruin leads into. There is something that's further beyond, but we haven't gone there. We come from much further down. This is basically
I
the
see.
surface.
Okay. I think I realize what I'm missing now. He didn't come down here from somewhere above ground. He came from below.
He is on his mountaintops right now. Yeah.
Okay. Alright. Alright.
You're gonna push through?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you tell
Push
us?
the doors open. Can you make a dexterity saving throw, please?
Of course. I'm good at these most of the time. Yeah. 25.
Yeah. So you push the door open and yank your hands away right as this little kind of sticks out and would have just gone straight through your hand.
Fooled me.
You yank your hands away and the door creaks open. You can see this huge stone staircase that descends down. Sorry, you just said something?
Oh, no, go on.
Okay, no worries. So if you want, you can just start making your way down. It's like a 15-foot wide staircase that travels roughly 70 feet. And you can see at the very bottom, there is darkness. There is what looks like the remnants of maybe a carpet, but tattered. And there are like elements of dirt and stone that have been tracked in over years and years of people passing in different directions over it.
I'm gonna turn to Valis and turn to this Duragar. Like,
Bildrum, you've come up this way. Is there any traps or anything that we should be wary of as we make our way down?
He just kind of like gestures back at the door. But while that's all happening, are you guys doing anything?
I'm asking Rez, like, smelling anything from down there? Like, where we at? Let's do a smell check.
He kind of just sniffs around. He's not a rat anymore, right?
No.
So
He can turn into a rat whenever he wants. So if he thinks that he's going to do a better job of
he
smelling,
really doesn't understand that about himself yet. He's really feeling this out.
also it's not. He has the same stats no matter what point he's in.
Yeah. Oh, great. Excellent. Good to know. So, no worries. He takes a deep, deep sniff, and he kind of shakes his head, and he goes, "No, but there's traces. There was one here before.
Okay.
Recently, too."
Okay. I relay that to the group. All right, be on your guard.
How long has it been? Is the daylight spell still up?
How long does the daylight spell last?
1 hour.
Yeah, still up for about like 20 minutes still.
Okay.
Also good.
Or Minga's gonna take the hooded lantern that she's just holding and just give it to Ori because he's the one that uses the lanterns and the fire breathing and stuff. And she's
I
like, "Yeah."
have one.
Is there
I
still
think
oil in
still
this you can
attached
take?
to my hip. Is there? Can I like take the oil from
Yeah, you
that
can-
one? I guess.
yeah, if you
and,
want, yeah,
like,
no problem.
Add it to mine.
You refuel your lantern.
Marry the oil.
Yeah.
Stay away, Bellwoman.
So you make your way down.
I'll ask Bildrum, like, as we make our way down, what can we expect to see? And how much farther down is the... I'm trying to remember. Like, if we keep going down, we're going to encounter the lady, correct?
Well, we have to make our way through the rest of the keep first. So, ahead. And as you get to the bottom of the staircase, there's just this big, long hallway. And it ends... Does anybody have dark vision past 80 feet? 90 feet?
120.
120! You see
Right, 'cause
all
that's
the
what-
way...
Yeah.
You tell me.
It's the devil's sight.
Devil
right?
sight.
I thought that was...
It is 120. Yep.
Okay, perfect. Oh, because you already had 60. Right. So as you look, you can see all the way down the hall. At the very, very end, there is an open door frame. And then you can see, I think, like 30 feet into the room itself.
Hell yeah.
First of all, at the very top, you can see very faint elvish writing that reads, processing, refining, dungeons, Sinner Circle. Processing is big. The other ones are all small little signs going down.
I'm sorry, did you say Sinner's Circle?
Sinner's Circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got that before.
We saw it already.
Yeah.
That's the last door.
Oh, right. The last door, it had those 4 things
That
above
had,
it, right?
yeah, that's the one that we were going through.
Still don't
We
like it.
checked
And
all
so
those.
he
No, it's not
says,
awesome.
so we're going to start out going through their interrogation chamber, and then after that, the room where they psychically tortured people, and then after that, we're going to go through the dungeons, and then we're getting to this place that is the place where the echoes seem to be coming from the most strong. We haven't gone in there. I can show you where we came from. It diverges right about that point.
Sorry, go back a second. Doing what now? Torturing? What was the first one?
All right.
That seemed to be past tense.
So we're in the keep, going further into the keep, and then there's, I think you said, like, dungeons and then interrogations.
Processing.
Oh.
Refining.
Refine. So processing is intake and interrogation. Refining, which is psychic torture. Dungeons, which is basically holding and more torture. And then Sinner's Circle, which is apparently just a gateway to hell.
And then there's something after that, but then, so which room
diverges
does your
at
entrance
the
from the
Sinner's
Underdark
Circle.
come in?
It's in the dungeons itself is where we broke through.
Okay.
We need to go to the Sinner's Circle, though. That's probably where the throne is.
What does your people know of this keep?
Not much.
Walking and talking.
Yeah, there is a time where there used to be stuff buried here. There were armies that clashed, but a long time since most of the weapons and armor have been cleared out. Every now and then you will find things, though, but pretty rare now.
Okay.
Did they take the thing out of the larder?
What thing out of
Oh, the medic place. Did they take the thing?
Oh, there were, when we were looking through before we encountered you, there were the medical room, the medici, and they looked like there were some things on the desk that have been taken recently. Was that y'all?
That's
You all
undercommon
four
for all
of
of you.
I don't want to say you and be like singular accusative. More
Yeah,
like
yeah, no
you
worries.
all.
He
All of you fine folk.
shakes his head and he says, "No. The person that I told you about, that sad man, he had things on him made of brass and gold. Perhaps him?"
Wait,
Billy
is the sad man Sir
flashes back to Sermentis again.
Not Sermenti, no. The person that they say that they came by, so they had to come from below.
Okay.
That they said was
Sermentis
beneath
just seems
us when
sad.
we
He's
were
the scared
in the
man. No,
room.
he seemed really scared.
Scared man, sad man, angry man.
Yeah, and then mean lady.
Mean lady, okay. Alright. Sad man and scared man get mixed up in my head.
So Sermentis has my heckle.
Sermenti is the one upstairs. The very sad one was beneath us when we were there. When we were where Silverpot told us about them.
Granmere seemed to think that that guy, whatever it was that he had on him, seemed to be made very well. He was of the opinion. I didn't see it myself.
Minka's kind of like sidle back to where Cheshire is and be like,
Do you think you could see strings as we go down here?
If they're there, probably.
Because
Well,
Silverpaw had some
like-
of them, right?
Make a perception check.
While we're walking, I just want to talk. I'll talk to Belgrim and ask about how the affairs of the Underdark are going on nowadays.
Dirty 20.
With the dirty 20, you look up and you don't see a single string. Whatever it was, you don't feel your vision darken. It doesn't seem to be pulling you right now.
I thought you said this was the door.
As you are all nearing the door and you're talking with him about like affairs of the Underdark, you can see in front of you, as you get closer and the door kind of like opens up, or the room kind of opens up in front of you, the space that has been called processing. This is a chamber where there are 4 stone tables that at slight inclines, and even from this distance as you get closer with Minka's bright daylight, you see the dark stains of blood across the floor. There are drains set into the floor as well. You see a number of cages. You can see what looks like a winch along with a number of like really heavy lines. Some of you may be aware of torture chambers, and this certainly is one of those.
That's just the last direction. All I know.
Is this
Hasn't
processing?
updated yet.
Or is this the place where they torture
You kind of
people,
like look
or are
around
they
and
the same?
as you are walking in, processing right above the door.
Is this processing?
No. Processing?
yeah.
And if you like are saying that, Grim would actually just say, "No, this is a torture chamber. Pretty sure."
Right, because it's written in common or something.
Elvish.
Elvish.
Elvish?
Elvish.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Are there any traps in this room that your group encountered?
Yes, but we, admittedly, I set it off. I don't think there's anything left. But there was a tripwire that dropped a warhammer from the ceiling. So just be cautious. It's weird. It's almost like there's different traps in here, we noticed. There are some that just seem like strings, and there are some that are much more complex.
I'll relay that to the group.
Okay.
Multiple
careful.
people have been here.
Have you not been here for 2 weeks since you've been up at the forge?
We have been primarily staying within the keep and the immediate outskirts, looking for metal for this project, for this inspiration of Grimm's.
Ask him what's up with the sword.
Who is Grimm making the sword for?
His inspiration.
Okay, I worry that it's not a natural inspiration.
Yeah,
Instead
that's
it's
why I'm coming with you,
Oh, right.
because he's been forcing us as our superior officer to mine material for 2 weeks, and we have been getting food, but it's quite hard. So if we can figure this out, that would be great.
I can
Yeah.
make some.
Sounds a bit pissed off. What's your
You can make food.
It doesn't last for. It only lasts for a little bit, but I can. Yeah.
I mean, I'll eat it right now.
Are you hungry?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is he still? Wait. So does he speak common?
Oh,
now?
sorry. Right. Yeah. You don't speak under.
No,
Sorry,
I
my
know.
fault.
I don't
That whole
talk.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will translate that so that whole thing can just.
No problem. Yeah, that happens slower. It happens slower, but
It's a good thing that we brought this translator along.
Yeah, I know, right? All right. I'm gonna make good bears.
Okay.
Go bars.
Good bears.
Can I get one of those?
Get 10. There are 10 of them. So
Because gooder berries.
gooder berries. So I'm just gonna summon them.
You can see he's just like looking at you.
He has
Waiting.
10 berries, and then just like put my hands on and be like, good berries.
Still not like looking at you. He goes and he like leans over to you and he goes, "Where's the food?"
If you eat one of those, actually, have I encountered good berries before?
Surely.
I haven't
Probably,
in this
yeah.
campaign,
I
but
would
in
say
this-
probably, yeah.
Okay. Those are magically made and can sustain you for a day. Try eating one; you'll feel much better. And I take one and I eat it in front of him.
It's not even alive. And he takes one and just like he bites into it. He's like, "This isn't even blood." And he like he's like running down his lips a little bit. But then all of a sudden you can see like the effect of it being a sustaining food kind of sinks into him, and he goes, "Gross." And just eats it.
Anyone who didn't have missing hit points heals 1 hit point when eating from good berry.
You make your way
I
into
know
this
it's not
room.
what you're accustomed to, but it should help sustain you.
You make your way into this room, and he kind of nods his head, and he just says, "This is not the kind of bloodworms that we're used to down here, but my stomach is full. I won't complain. Thank you." He continues on.
In the upper world.
I think you just kind of like awkwardly like hold out the good berries to everyone, see if anyone else wants one.
I'll take an extra one, put it in my pocket.
He stops walking. He's like, "Are we taking a break?" Or... Okay.
Just snacking.
Continues to
Snacking
walk.
as we go.
You across to this room. Is anybody doing anything as you do? You pass rows of torture implements and various stained beds.
We should probably check for traps. I know that Belgium said, Belgium said that his party like tripped some, but they might have reset some in the time that they've been up. I check for traps.
Make an investigation check.
The reason
I
why
just
say
keep
out
holding
loud
my
is 'cause
light.
I'm not
They're like,
good at it. 8.
No traps.
While we're walking and talking, Alina's gonna sidle up to Ori and be like, "Hey, so, you said you were gonna give Russ some chocolate." He did what we asked him to do.
He gets half.
Suddenly he just appears and just eats it all, and it goes all over his face. And he's just breathing hard by the end of it. And he just goes, "Oh, that was the good stuff. Oh, man. Yeah. Oh, I feel better. That was really good."
That's good, yeah.
He takes a deep sniff and he just goes, "You know, if I didn't know any better, I would say," and kind of like looks over, and in your mind, Alina, he finishes his thought and he goes, "I think this guy, I think he's like under the influence of something."
This guy that we're with?
Yeah.
What do you mean something?
Well, if it's a devil or a demon or something like that, I really only know a couple things that could do this. You ever heard of a succubus?
Yeah.
They have a way of kind of doing this sort of thing. I've never seen it like this, where they're turning people into weird shadows and stuff, but like, they're kind of all talking the same, and they're kind of all just working towards the same end, and that's kind of like, you know?
Okay, I want to make sure I understand you.
Okay.
This Durgar that we're with right now, you think is under the influence?
No, this guy's, well, I don't really know, but the remember the guy upstairs?
Yeah.
And he was just kind of like, oh, you're not supposed to be here. You're not supposed to be here. Yeah, that guy, I think. And then the guy that was yelling.
Yeah.
And he was yelling, "You're not supposed to be here."
Okay.
So
I think we're on the same page here. So like a succubus, maybe?
Yeah.
And has been turning people into shadows, you think?
See, that's the thing I'm not quite clear on.
Yeah.
Usually it's just like, you sort of charm them and then you get them to do your bidding and then you kind of break the neck and you suck the blood. But this seems to be no broken necks and a lot more shadows.
Okay, but so maybe like a succubus, but more different.
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm giving you the information that I have. What?
Shadowbus. No, this is good. This is good stuff. Okay, so have you ever fought a succubus?
No.
Okay. Do you know anyone who has?
I mean, not alive. They're it's not even that they're so strong. What you have to understand about a succubus is that they're really, really good at charming people.
Okay.
So, like, the people in this group who are maybe just a little bit open to suggestion, he looks over at Minka, that's going to be a liability for us. Okay. And beyond that, I don't really know about where we're around. But, like, if there's something really big and really dumb.
Okay. Yeah, I gotcha. Nice job, bud. So as they're walking, Alina is gonna say to the group, so look, I've been thinking, I feel like these dare you. I feel like, these people that we've been seeing who've been saying you're not supposed to be here, like it's almost like they're charmed, right? So like we should be really careful because I feel like maybe there's going to be some charm magic coming our way as we get closer. So just be on your guard and stuff. I know I keep saying it, but
Or people are looking at you now for some reason.
I'll say it to you in Elvish. Oh, good thing we're elves.
Yeah. We have natural immunity
Yes.
to feet.
That must be.
I was almost thinking, like, have you guys ever heard of like succubus?
I'm making my way quickly.
Have I heard of
through the room.
succubus?
Make a history check. And make a history or religion check, I would say.
It's just like kind of reminding me of that. Like I
Have
don't know
heard
why.
of succubi?
Make the same check.
Natural.
Do I
Yeah,
get?
whoever wants to.
Do I get my?
Oh, I just
Oh, you know what?
I just decided that Alina had heard of it, but
Do I get my special?
Well, you did just hear about it, and I would say no. And you have heard of succubus, of course. It is a tropical drink that is served across many oceans in the Sunrest Islands.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20 with the dirty 20. This is a demon that is typically associated with temptation in a lot of ways, like a demonic version of a mermaid. They delight in trapping souls, and they often deal with those souls in various
Some ways.
souls. I would say with that check, not quite sure, but they use these souls as currency almost.
I got a religious 10.
With a religious 10, devil bad.
I'm gonna keep my head down, making my way through the room. Making my way through the room.
Okay. Anybody else have anything they want to do before you reach the end of the room? Okay. You make your way a little bit further, and at the end of this hall, passing these torture devices, you get to a large metal door. Again, adamantine. This one seems to slide down and then raise up somehow. And you had seen winches in a previous room. There's something very much like this. There are none visible here. And so you pause it perhaps on the other side. This seems to be almost like, though it doesn't fall down, like a drawbridge. Like this is something that you pull up when you're under attack, and it is up. With that, man, you guys made some good checks. You watch as this Duragar goes up and moves his hand along the wall, and as he does, it's clear that he doesn't know exactly where it is, but there is a point where it and this door just begins to rise up. He just kind of stands there waiting, and when it gets to be about 3 feet and 8 inches up, he just walks straight under, not even ducking. The rest of you entering?
Following, like ducking under.
Yeah, I think Minka would probably look first. And then go under.
So Minka, you look first as you see Ori duck under and this Duragar duck under, and the Duragar just walks right in, but Ori gets a strange look on his face. And to find out why, because it is just about to be 10:30, this is where we're going to end for the evening, and we'll figure out why in 3 weeks.
Oh, that's so many weeks.
What a
3
cliffhanger.
weeks? Oh, because
Yeah.
2 and then 3 is the one after.
So thank you for joining us for this session of Adventures in Oberon Courts of Everest. We will be back in 3 weeks as we are off for the next 2. But thank you for hanging out with us as always. We'll be back. Enjoy the next couple weeks. And remember to tune in next week for the Starfinder original one-shot, The Influencers, and the week after that for the D&D original one-shot, Camp Bright Cove. But until then, we'll see you later. Goodbye.
Someone paid for Mouse Theater.
Let's do it next week.
All right, guys. Mouse Theater is very, very complex. You take a toy and you go up to your mouth and go, and you move around like this. And your cat watches you the entire
You have
time.
the string one. You go.
No, the string one, he doesn't care. It's only when you do it in front of him and you have to put it under something and like, and then make mouse sounds. And he goes,
Possible mouse.
yeah, and then then that goes on for about 25 minutes.
So for whoever wanted to know about Mouse Theater, there you go. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Money well spent.